Well, apparently we're muted, which is an interesting one.
Oh, yes. I am muted.
And now we're unmuted.
Yes, we are not. Not anymore. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. My name is Brillman, as you all probably know. I am here joined by none other than Wolf, who was kind enough to jump on today's casting for these finals of the SLE. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing?
Should be a good one today, bro. I'm very much looking forward to this. Both SG Momentum and both teams have been proving that they've been, definitely the top tier teams going through the entire league. I believe that Momentum dropped 2 games the entire season. I think, and I think that I forgot the name of the other team. Please remind me.
SG Momentum.
No, Momentum is the team that I remember. What's the other one?
NSG. Forsaken.
But I remember that they only dropped 1 game throughout the split. So both teams, obviously, top teams, and I'm hoping for a best of 5. I'm hoping for a full best of 5 in this one.
Oh yes, best of 5. Silver scrapes all the way through. That should be absolutely fantastic. I'm really, really looking forward to see that.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something extremely important. I forgot what exactly.
The draft is underway, my friend.
Is it? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is. Here are coming the first bans.
And we have a Ziggs ban, followed by a Vayne ban. And I think the Vayne ban is a very good ban by NSF here, because Ben 2 is a very prolific Vayne player. Then also we have the Aurelia, which I think that's a bit of respect over towards Xandars, but I know that that they can also flex that into the top lane. So I'll be interested to see what their mid laner can play. Bans coming thick and fast.
All
And the
right.
Xin
Yes,
Zhao
they
locked
are.
in first pick blue side.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, for which I apologize. Mainly because of the fact that, let me put it this way, resetting off the whole thing has been a little bit faster than it should have been. But we will get to you ASAP. But yes, indeed, we are having more and more buns coming in shortly. We've got Lee Sin, Irelia, Camille also, and the first picks are already coming in, which are Lucian and Xinjiao. So what do you think of that?
Seeing the Lucian Xin Zhao, and then followed up obviously the Lucian with the Nami pick. Lucian Nami still a very strong bot lane combo, but I must admit I do like this Jinx pick. The Jinx pick follow up. Jinx is very good on current meta. I think she's like the second highest ADC in terms of pick rate. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she's only behind Caitlyn in terms of pick rate on the current patch. So definitely a very strong ADC, while Lucian has fallen off a little bit, but they're both definitely the S tier ADCs on the current meta. Leona to follow it up. This is good. This is good. I like these drafts so far. You've obviously got the Lucian Nami for the strong lane, and the Jinx Leona is a good answer. You might struggle with the level 1, but as soon as the Leona hits level 2, Jinx is always ready for the all in.
I like Viego. I like Viego pick very much.
I'm surprised to see a Viego pick. We've not been seeing him a lot, but I mean it's very strong to take over the abilities of the opponent. So always a nice one.
Indeed, and it just brings so much flexibility into those team fights, right? Because with the
Yeah,
ability to reset, there is a way how to you just, go inside of the fight and turn any fight around as much as you would like. We have more bans coming in, which is
LeBlanc
Silas,
ban.
LeBlanc. An interesting exchange, to say the least.
Yeah, I think Silas definitely a strong pick, especially if you're looking to go for like map pressure mid laners. You got your Galio, your Twisted Fate. Silas is more than happy to follow them along wherever they're going. LeBlanc, obviously, LeBlanc paired up with the Xin Zhao, is a very strong pick. The Vex ban. Now that one I'm interested in. Um, Obviously LeBlanc taken off the board, so not too worried about that. And the
Syndra,
Syndra.
not particularly surprised to be honest. She's one of the, I would say, one of the most hurting and hitting mid laners.
Yeah, Syndra definitely a strong mid laner. She has the ability to fit into a lot of comps really nicely. And the TK picked up. So I'd say NSF's draft's looking like it's coming along rather well. I'd be interested to see what they answer this with on the top side for momentum. I know Razuzu is a Kale player. There it is.
Ooh, there we go. I think we've seen Ruzu to play KO a few times in this split already, and it always has been real blast to
And there's
looking.
there's the lock in.
Oh
The Kale
yes,
might struggle with the matchup early levels, but it's a Kale. As soon as she hits that level 16, she's more than happy to take over the game.
so now it really seems like SGM are really looking forward to try and drag the time as much as they can in order to get into the level, let's say, later stages of the game, while
Yeah,
NSF seem to be quite accelerant into mid.
Rise pick.
Ooh.
Now that's interesting. I wouldn't have been surprised to see a more supportive mid laner, the Rise Victor matchup. Victor, I think he's currently the highest picked and highest win rate mid laner on current patch, thanks to the item reworks.
And thanks to
Um,
Arcane. Duh.
yeah. I'd be interested to see what keystone he takes. A lot of first strike priority, but the lock in hasn't come across yet. So, there it is.
There it is.
So we have our draft.
Well, isn't that a lot to talk about?
That's interesting. I feel like the bot lane is going to be very combat heavy because Lucian and Nami are obviously looking to press the early advantage, but Leona and Jinx are no slouches in lane either. The both junglers excel on early game pressure, but there is two scaling picks in the solo lanes for momentum. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this Sinzan looking to play around bot, looking to play around the Drakes, snowball a bit, or maybe they just sit back and say, we know we scale. We've got Rise, we've got Kale, we've got Jinx. They all scale into the late game really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just sit back and say, okay, you can have a couple of Drakes, maybe get a Rift Herald, but we're going to beat you in team fights late game.
And I'm actually kind of interested how is NSF are looking to play their own team composition here, because they've got Viego, which is something that I think combines really well with SGM, especially in the moment if they will suddenly start to be extremely, let's say, hard hitting in the later stages, especially if, for example, Kale. But if we're able to get rid of the Kale as soon as possible, Viego can just take over, and now all of a sudden you've got a Kale on your opposite team, basically the weapon used against you, and that seems pretty powerful to me.
It's an interesting dynamic because I feel like Momentum's comp definitely scales better. However, there is always the ability for Viego, like you said, to get that reset, get the takeover, and you combine a Viego with a Nami, and you're looking good in late game team fights. I feel like the longer the team fights go late game, the more favored it goes for Forsaken, just because they're able to sustain with the Viego and the Nami, as opposed to KLW doesn't do all that much.
Seems to be one of my concerns as well. Although I'm on the other hand, I'm looking at SGM's kit, I would say, with all the possibilities that they have on their hands. With how do they want to play this around? With what do they want to, pair themselves up with, and all of that stuff. And it just really seems to be, and strikes me to be, as one of those compositions that are just versatile enough to pretty much play almost around everything. Because if you think about it, you've got Leona, who will be able to provide enough amount of control to anybody who will want to either go really close, or to, for example, to prevent Lucian from dancing around. Then you have Jinx, who also has a good way of zoning your opponent. And then, of course, you've got Xin Zhao, who will just, swirl around with his ultimate, with the Crescent Guard, and do not let nor Tam Kench nor Viego to go anywhere further.
Yeah, I think they have. I think it's definitely a comp. Momentum definitely have a comp where they want to be on objectives first, because Jinx and Rise and even Kale especially, they're very good stand your ground champs. If you're at the objective first and you're playing as a Jinx or a Kale, then you are more than happy to let the enemy team come into you, because all of your damage is quite linear. You don't look at a Jinx and say, "Oh no, how is she going to damage me?" You know where it's coming from. So if you get to those objectives first as Momentum, I think you're looking in a very strong place, because Forsaken don't have a lot of strong tools for getting in the fight. They have the Tom Kench W, not that good of an initiation. So really, you're looking at a Nami bubble or a Nami tidal wave. So I think Forsaken could struggle the later this game goes.
You still have Spectral Maw doubled up with a stone coming from Viego, which pretty much tells me that it also another way to try to go and initiate the fight, especially around Drake Pits, right? Because you basically throw your Spectral Maw away, and you making it harder for your opponent to predict from which exact side are you coming, meaning that if Viego will find a good flanking maneuver, it might be a turnaround.
Yeah, you could definitely see that happening. I all the more reason to very much. I'm looking forward to the game. Now, one thing I noticed as someone who got beaten by Momentum rather recently is their laning phases were very strong. So I think drafting a scaling comp could play into their hand very nicely. Because one thing I certainly noticed when I was playing against them was they were very, very good in laning phase. And I have to say, so drafting sort of the opposite to your strength, so you can lane well. Which means if you draft a scaling comp and you're fairly confident you can come out of lane well, might just be a free win. We'll have to wait and see.
Might as be, yes. I cannot disagree with you, and it seems rather interesting, not going to lie. Now we have just a little bit more time before we finally will go to the Summoner's Rift. And what am I rather interested in is this. So we've talked about all of these possibilities, how the game can go, right?
Yep.
We've talked about the comms, we've talked about the laning phases, but what I'm interested in is how will individual laners perform? Because when we're talking about bot side of the map, you've got two very, very powerful compositions, right? Very powerful combinations. Lucian and Nami has been wrecking everybody for a long period of time. Just if you refer to the, like, let's say, the latest banger that we have seen was Hans Sama performing on Worlds on a Lucian, combined with Nami almost all the time, and by thus bringing Rogue almost out of the group stage. Yeah. So pretty much confirms that she's a hard-hitting champion. Oh, or he is, rather. Yeah. While on the other side, you've got Jinx and Leona. Also an extremely good combo. But when you look at Kayle and Tahm Kench, Ryze and Victor, both seem to have their pros and cons. What I'm wondering is, how will individual junglers decide to play around those solo lanes?
So I know I can tell you that I would not be surprised to see the for the laning phase, the Victor will definitely have the shove in on the Ryze for the early game because he has a lot more poke potential and kill pressure for the early levels. However, once the Ryze starts getting to around, once he starts hitting his first, like, you know, like Lost Chapter or tier with, you know, a little bit of ability power into his items, he can clear those waves fairly quickly, and mid lane kind of just becomes, okay, I'm going to shove the wave, you shove the wave. So it's, you know, almost like a 50-50. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some early pressure for the Victor. And then top lane, you're probably going to look at the Tahm Kench shoving in the Kayle early, and it slowly, over the course of the laning phase, starts to become more Kayle favoured as she scales a bit more. Now, the bot lane is probably the most volatile lane, as the Lucian Nami has a lot of pressure level 1 and level 2, whereas the Jinx and the Leona have almost nothing until they hit 3. And I don't think they actually win that 2v2 until around level 6 without an outplay. So I'd definitely be focusing a lot of attention on the bot lane, because I think I would not be surprised to see an early kill. I think I'll put a bet that there's a kill in the bot lane before level 3.
All right, this sounds to be very interesting. Also, for some reason, I have a feeling that Lucian's and Nami's level 6 is actually a little bit more powerful than Jinx's and Leona's, because with the strength of the tidal wave combined with the culling, which also provides a lot of opportunity how to work around your space, it just feels like they're going to be a little bit more powerful around the edges. Now,
yeah, I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see Lucian take cleanse in this scenario. There's not a whole bunch of CC, but if you want to win laning phase, which Lucian more often than not he does, then I wouldn't be surprised to see him take cleanse into this matchup. And I can confirm he has not.
Yes, he has not indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just about seconds away to go to the Summoner's Rift, as we will have ourselves a first match of this best of 5 series, SGM against NSF, basically. So let's see how that ends up.
Indeed.
In just about seconds, hopefully, we'll get to the Summoner's Rift. For now, this is all we're getting. There we go.
And there it is.
You can just never get rid of the spectators bugger, right? It's just you're never getting rid of that.
No, spectator bug is here to stay.
Right, fix your client. All right, cheesy level 1 actually from both of the teams incoming.
We all love a cheeky level 1 strat. So it seems like we have Momentum looking for the top lane pinch, and we have NSF looking for the blue buff invade. Lucian a little bit far behind, so I would be interested to see what happens here.
Still, though, manages to go through it. It seems like it's a double invade and nobody is going to find each other there.
Usually these invades go down to an all-out brawl or ships passing in the night, but it looks like we could... Oh, no.
Oh, no. Just don't back this early. Oh, no. Please!
This could end really badly.
Oh, no, 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 no! No! Russo is
Oh.
getting stuck in here.
He should be okay. Tom Kench started Q. I don't think Viego can catch up here.
Probably not.
That was almost disastrous for either team.
Oh, luckily, everything seems to be just fine.
Luckily, everything's just fine, and both teams got the wards that they wanted.
Now, there's quite a lot of actually deep warding here, but much more for the side of NSF.
Yeah, we have the ward on the mid lane River Brush, and we have the ward on the red buff, as well as the ward on the blue buff over the course of the teams. But I'm very interested in this bot lane matchup. The wards will be helpful for the junglers, so they can know obviously where their clear is going to end, so they can challenge for the scuttle. Perhaps we'll see a scuttle crab fight, or maybe they'll just handshake and take the 50-50. A lot of trading in the bot lane.
I don't even know what is exactly one of the ways you should really go for here, because we're going to have experience a small technical difficulty, maybe yet again. I'm very sorry for that little inconvenience. But I don't even know actually what do you prefer to go for here, because yes, double scuttle crab of course is very important, and you love to take that, especially as a jungler. It brings you more experience, it brings you more gold, brings you pretty much more everything. But maybe for the first game, it's rather better to just shake hands and you know, leave yourself alone and see what the other team will be doing here.
Or you could assert dominance early into the matchup and say if you're Viego here, I'm looking and saying, right, my bot lane has got lane pressure, my top lane's got lane pressure, mid lane is slightly in favor of Ryze. I know that the Viego started blue buff, so he's going to be finishing on bot side. I'll use my bot lane pressure to challenge for bot side scuttle, and then I'll run, and then if we win that fight, I'll run up and take top side. Because you notice both junglers are finishing their clear on the same side, scuttle's up, they're both pinging it. So I would not be surprised to see a small interaction here.
Viego is still, though, needs to take down the Gromp as well, meaning he will be stuck there a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, and Xin Zhao takes it faster. Kung Fu was better.
Yeah, Kung Fu sacrificed the full clear of his golems to make sure he gets the scuttle, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get the double scuttle here. Looks like Tom Kench is taking it, but yeah, Tom Kench secures topside scuttle crab.
Larissa. Wow. With the trade of scuttles now, it serves rather well to the side of NSF here.
Yeah, I mean it's a small XP and gold advantage for the Xin Zhao, but it's a huge gold advantage and XP swing for the top lane.
Oof. Now, Paranoid might be a little bit caught in here, but decides to disengage. In the meantime, indeed, Kung Fu going onto... Wow! Cancel of the Devour onto Larissa, but the big shield incoming. Kung Fu willing to tank, though. Double flash, triple flash. Ruzu will take the first blood, despite all the
Some nice tower juggling of the aggro there. 2 flashes, but the first blood. And Kale can now... I'm not sure if I agree with the recall here. I would like to see the wave pushed here. As that's a big wave.
Look at Viego, Paranoid.
Viego's got man mode.
Yeah, indeed. Looks to get there, but here comes the teleport from Razutsus. Are we going to see the continuation?
Smite,
I think yes, we are. Smite goes on to Kung Fu. Now Paranoid has to flash away, but...
TP coming in from the Tom Kench.
Larissa is here, but I don't think we're going to see any more brawling over here.
You hate, if you're a top laner right now, you hate to see it. That feels so bad, because look at the wave that he's missing top lane. That was the thing, like that was a 2.5, maybe a 3 wave stack that he's missing, and he's taking the ward instead of taking it now.
In the meantime, some trading here at the bot lane, exactly what we've been talking about, and it just sees how much it pays off for Lucian, as Kaiser Mummy is momentarily 10 CS ahead, which is quite a huge lead, not gonna lie.
Yeah, mid lane about even, as we agreed, and a CS lead in the top and the bot lane. And the jungler's looking about even in the CS department as well. So, at the moment, gold's about even thanks to the first blood, but the laning phase is going over to NSF so far.
And the Chemtech Dragon, used to be the first dragon to spawn on the Summoner's Rift. Is it the one that you particularly enjoy as a player, or do you think either of the teams can actually think about passing this one?
I must admit, despite the fact that I've played in a bunch of games that have had the Chemtech Dragon, I've yet to
Oh,
really
hold your
notice
thought
its
here.
effects.
Kung
But like,
Fu is going onto Minecraft Drown. The Flash will not save you, nor will they heal. Second kill, picked up by SGM.
Kung Fu with a lot of early game pressure so far. He managed to get the scuttle, despite the fact that his bot lane was shoved in. Then he got the top lane first blood, and now he secures a bot lane kill and the Drake. So a lot of early pressure for Kung Fu, and I must say it's paying off rather nicely. 300 gold ahead, only 6 minutes in, and are they going to secure the first Drake?
And thanks to that gank, you
Indeed,
can see that Bento is finally catching up with gold to Lucian. Yes, he's still falling behind a little bit, but that assist worked for him rather nicely.
Yeah, a lot of the gold advantage right now is just spread out across the jungle and the top lane.
Later,
So,
no, Bento rather might be a little bit of trouble. Takes quite a few shots from the cowboy. Ooh, Flay today, just a little bit of range.
I don't think the either ADC has the mana bar to be able to secure a kill right now, but it's some nice trading nonetheless.
Some bubbles,
Nice
some
bubble
more
by
trading
Minecraft.
as well. But for now, it just seems like ooh, the culling actually not going to hit anybody. Kaiser Mummy is so far ahead of this Jinx right now. Look at the gold there's almost not really there's not really that much gold difference as there is XP difference.
I think that, yeah, there's a small XP lead, but I think even the small gold lead that they have right now is substantial in the early game. What is it? I think right now it's a 200, maybe 250 gold advantage, which that's not a bad gold lead. Yeah, 300 gold advantage at 8 minutes. You know, that's almost a longsword. So you're looking at quite a nice little bank for Kaisamami at the moment. As we see that the
also
Kale is
got
starting.
himself the first blood, meaning that she is not falling behind Larisu here, which is absolutely incredible in this matchup because otherwise Tom Kench would have been absolutely confident with the fact that he can go in, take a few good swings, and they'll go back. This time around, though, it doesn't really work, does it?
No, it's. I don't think he has the kill pressure that he would like to have right now. Obviously, Tom Kench don't really play him for lane dominance, but into a KO matchup, you know that you can have it. But still with the nice 23 CS lead. So I don't think he's too worried about that first blood. I think he's just happy that he's got a CS lead as we see some
Later
trading bot lane.
gets the long range engage there. Now working onto Kaiser Mummy, but Bento will take quite good damage. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to hit the target. Here comes the Solar Flare as well. Bento takes the double kill. Here comes the teleport. Victor's now here, but he's going to get caught here in the middle. Fire, Correction Guard, and the with the Chaos Storm, punishing Bento for being way too close. The kill is going to be secured by Kung Fu.
Yeah, you could see that they were looking to transfer that kill over to the Rise, but Parker not willing to let that happen. Wants to make sure that the gold goes onto the Xin Zhao. Really good trading there by the bot lane of Flay today and Bento. And a really nice Jinx rocket to secure the kill. Unfortunately for Parker, the TP was a little bit late.
Lariso
Top lane dive.
The tower as much as it can. Paranoid doesn't really get in with any kind of a stun and has to flash away. Foffy's now here though. Maybe with some help of the warp they can catch up, but I don't. Ooh, aggressive flash forward, but the unstoppable from the Ruined King is going to save him here. Now, in the meantime, yet again, another tray here coming in the board. Bento now so in trouble with the help of the Cullen, going to get the kill, and the Tidal Wave here just for some good measure. Take that. Shot down, picked up by Kaiser Mummy.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the bot lane duo from NSF here, knowing that okay, the Jinx and the Leona might not be prepared for us to just say, all right, you killed us, but we're gonna kill you now. So let's just flip the script. And you know what? 30 CS lead. They might have died, and they got the clean 3-0 on the side of momentum, but excellent play by NSF to just say, right, we know we're still strong. This combo is good, so let's just try this.
And it goes to show the 300 gold difference is still there. So with that being said, Kaiser Mummy is still ahead over Jinx, and I have a feeling that he will be able to. Ooh, top lane though. Here comes the Devour. He might be looking to kill Resistors here, but he has the Flash and the Divine Judgment, but I don't think he's getting anywhere out. But here comes reinforcements. Kung Fu's here with the lick, though. Manages to get him down. Now Kung Fu looking to try and punish Larissa for that, but we'll be able to do that. Spectator is not letting us see it. Let's see it for ourselves. Kung Fu is in a big trouble. He might not be able to fight it off with the shield. Larissa just one lick, and that's a shot down. Play Today might be the one in trouble right now. Paranoid looking to get him down. That's a good initiation onto Minecraft Drown, but you are surrounded by those who want your blood. Tower Shot is going to bring another kill to the Rune King. Or the first, rather, actually.
Yeah. I think that NSF are definitely happy with that trade. They get 2 kills onto Larissa with an excellent outplay of the Kale and then the Xin in the top lane. And I'm not entirely sure what happened in the in the bot lane, but I do know that there was plenty of kills.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything you need to know. Let's see the state.
Drake goes over to NSF, yeah.
Let's see the state of the game. Gold is dead even. We're going to have ourselves a stall. While, in the meantime, Bentool not going to get picked up, despite the calling. Oh, Fofi not going to get picked up as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not blink, because it would appear that you would miss every single fight.
It just sometimes happens when the stakes are a little bit too high.
Herald in the bot lane, gank in the mid lane, top lane's busy, I guess.
Indeed, and now Victor taken down just like that. First kill handed over to Puffy.
Take a breath. We have the Crown of the Shattered Queen coming across as the first item for the Victor. No surprise there. And we have the Herald being dropped in the bot lane, getting some plates over to Kaiser Mummy and the Viego.
Oh, goes with a very nice initiation, blocks the popcorn as much as he can. Here comes the good knock.
Viego coming in.
Yes, he is indeed. But some reinforcements coming for Fofi as well. Not going to be able to stun him, but that's a good shield. He is still there. The Hex Stack is getting used, and here comes some other reinforcements. Popcorn used, but Minecraft Drown going to bring down and help Parker Watcher to bring down Fofi. Double kill handed over to that Nami as Rozu, the Divine Judge, will have his sentence handed over to him, and Parker Watcher takes down the kill.
I tell you what, I am thoroughly impressed with the team fighting on both teams. The Kung Fu going for some counter jungling, stealing away the red buff, and the Avengers assembled, ready to take him out. So. And we have more trading in the bot lane.
Yes, we do. Meantime, in the bot lane, we've got Devour. Jinx is now getting eaten. Bubble is not going to connect, but this Jinx is not running away anywhere. Tidal Wave, double knock up onto Play Today, and double kill. Handed over to Kaiser Mummy.
You would also like to think that no TP, the only TP is on the Kale.
Warp, double warp. Kung Fu is not going to get stunned while Fofi will be. Chaos Storm is coming in there too. Lasers, I think that Everfrost went rather not to the place you wanted it to go. Paranoid is now here. Going to try to help his teammate, and now they're chasing down the general of the armies. Will they do anything, though? That's a good level initiation onto Parker Watcher, with the Gold Drinker going to get some health with Christian's guards. Will take down the kill. And Fofi takes down Viego as well.
Right. Hopefully we can look for a lull in the map state for a bit, because we have a bit of house cleaning to do with the macro that's been going on. After the double kill in the bot lane, the First Blood Tower Gold went over to the side of NSF. I wasn't paying attention as we had a fight in the mid lane, but I believe the solo gold went to the Lucian. And I believe also it was an excellent showcase of how good the Crown of the Shattered Queen is against the Xin Zhao and the Rise combo, as Parker was able to survive for quite a while in that mid lane skirmish. But excellent outplay on the side of Kung Fu and Fofi as they get the double kill in the end in a 2-for-0.
And also noticing that there is 2,000 gold difference between the teams, with NSF leading, and you can see that there's even a bigger difference.
Yeah, we can see the effect of that double kill and the First Blood turret in the bot lane, as we now have a 1,000 gold lead for Kaiser over Bentool.
Kung Fu is leading, though.
Kung Fu has been everywhere. Kung Fu has been bot lane, top lane, mid lane, enemy jungle, his jungle.
Ooh,
the map is his right now.
Tidal Wave not going to connect onto anybody. I think that both teams are looking to take that Herald.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a fight around the Herald. We have both mid laners on the bot side of the map with TPs up and ults almost ready. So I would not be surprised to see a full 5v5 for this second Herald, which is very rare, but it could happen.
It could happen. We're slowly approaching it. Now you can see Ruzu is going to meet with Parker Watcher at the bot side of the map. But both of them, as you have mentioned, do have TP. Bentul, he's standing in place. He's going to get suppressed.
Oh, no
He's going to get eaten. And the heal will not save you.
Yeah. Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. It always feels bad when you're an ADC with a full item and you get killed by the full tank Tahm Kench through heal. But really nicely played by Larisso there. Gets the W, gets the ult for the CC chain, spits him out the opposite side of the turret. 3 licks. Job's a good one.
Let's say the lunch, or rather dinner, looking at the time, was tasty for Larisso. As the next
and it was served just in time as Drake's about to spawn.
It is indeed. He's going to be
and Bentul is running up top lane, so it looks like Momentum are seeding this Drake.
Maybe they look for a crossplay and try to take down the hero, but the Drake is going down so fast.
If I was Ryze right now, I'd be running towards the Herald. There we go. It looks like they're going to start it up now.
But look at the pings.
Don't know if they have
pings. And
this could be an all-out brawl.
It seems to be the case. The Herald has been started.
Needs to come down.
He needs to come down, but he's still at the top side of the map. And now, SGM is going to drop it.
Both carries that are in the bot side of the map have TP. Bentul is close by. If they give up this Herald, I wouldn't be surprised to go for the top lane tower. Might be a bit late now, though.
And it just seems that SGM decide to retreat from that fight, not picking it up just yet, and waiting for the Rohirrim cavalry to arrive, maybe.
I must say, I'm impressed with both teams this game. The macro on show is good from both teams.
Might be in trouble. Tidal Wave is not gonna save him from the tidal wave. Crushing Guard running away as much as he can, but no heal will save you from that amount of opponents. Kung taken down.
Hey, what you can tell it's the two best teams in the SLE when the finals are this much of a banger. 18 minutes into game 1.
Imagine if we have 4 more ahead of us.
Say it is so.
In the meantime, Kaiser Mommy flash forwards with the calling, but the solar flare from Flake to say, my God, almost brings him down. He gets it in the end with the ignite. That's a shutdown.
Oh, and as much as it's nice to get the return kill, the shutdown, the 450 bonus onto the Leona, it hurts. It hurts.
What I think we really need to reconsider Kaito Mummy's actions here, because I think he watched like World's montage of Hansama and went, you know what, I can do that too.
You know what? I respect it. I respect a man who can walk into the enemy jungle with minimal wards and say, I see an AD carry, I'm going to kill him.
In the meantime, Foffi might be the one in trouble. Late Night is coming here. The Devour has been used, but Foffi with the flash away. But will he survive? I don't exactly think so. Was very, well, not say very close, but he was making his best to try and survive. Pocket Watcher now going on to play today. Some trading, but here comes Kung Fu with a little bit of reinforcements. Misses with the W, though, meaning that he won't be able to come in. Tidal Wave is coming from Minecraft Jones as well. You have to run. Crushing Guard being used, but the Chaos Storm and everything getting thrown in the kitchen sink. He is Divine Judgment is going to save him. No, it won't. And the kills will not be traded as well. Tahm Kench still looking for blood. He's smelling it. He's not a fish. He is a shark. As Larisso finds his opponents, but the opponents run.
Are we going to see a 20-minute Baron in the SLE?
I think we
have
are.
Jungler and mid laner down. But there's a TP on the rise, but Zinzai was still dead for 15 seconds. This is a 20-minute Baron, bro, man.
Benzel is on bot. He can't do anything. He has his super mega death rocket. He might try to go for a steal, but will he do that? That's the biggest question. Still, we're looking for it.
On the objective bounties in the bot lane.
He is indeed. The Baron is going down, and it is going over to NSF.
I think this is both teams trying to play to their comp, and I'd say both teams are actually doing it rather well. We saw some good early game action from Kung Fu, trying to make sure that his laners got through the early game, and we saw a lot of early game skirmishing and good early game macro out of the side of NSF. So this is looking like a good game. They have the lead, which is what we said in draft that they needed, because you still have to be worried about the scaling of this Ryze, Jinx, and Kayle. when they're backed up by the two beefy brawlers of Leona and Zinzao. So I would like to see NSF crack a few towers, take another Drake, and just thoroughly utilize this Baron buff that they have. As we see a minute and 10. A minute and 10 on the Drake.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. For some reason, I have a feeling that in the comms of SGM, you can just hear, "It's fine, guys, we scale."
Yeah, it's always a nice thing to hear, especially as your Nexus explodes. So hopefully we can see some scaling from SGM to try and get themselves back into this game.
The game is not treating them nicely, though. 6,000 gold difference. They are falling behind, and they need to find a way to try and go in. The lanes are slowly getting pushed, and only 35 seconds until a Dragon Point, Soul Point, will be for NSF, in case SGM are not looking to contest it.
I'm surprised at the way that Forsaken are playing this. A 1-3-1 is okay, but when you're playing into a Rise and a Jinx, they have pretty good wave clear. I'd like to see them either group up as a 4-1 or try to execute this 1-3-1 a little bit better with the Viego, Nami, and Lucian pushing as one. It's nice to pick up the Drake, but I feel like they could have maybe cracked a tower or two before the Drake spawned.
They will crack a Drake, though, right now for themselves. It seems like as GM are not able to contest it, and they are not indeed in the Hextech. So it feels like having a Hextech on the team, on the map, just overall the Hextech terrain, not even talking about the Soul itself, is probably one of the most exciting things right now that you can have on the Summoner's Rift.
I like the macro coming out of NSF here. They take the Drake. They know that 4 of them have Baron buff still and are on the bot side of the map with the Tahm Kench pushing top against the Rise. So send 4 people bot lane. Make sure you get that outer turret. That's a nice chunk of extra gold thanks to recent patches. And they put themselves on Soul Point to boot. And I would expect them to perhaps look for recalls now as the Baron buff's about to time out in about 5 seconds.
8,000 gold difference between the team also. It seems like SGM are falling. Oh my god, here comes the teleport.
Pulling the trigger as the Baron buff times out.
It is. Let the brawl commence and the fighting begin. Draw your swords, ladies and gentlemen. The first inhibitor.
I don't think there'll be a fight here. Yeah. Okay. I must commend NSF. They almost did it. I wonder if they chose not to take the inhib or if they just felt like they couldn't. Because it was definitely a risk going for the inhib. But also, I feel like if you take that inhib, it puts a lot of map pressure, and you're just giving SG Momentum what they want, which is a wave pushing into them constantly so they can scale more on the Rise and the Jinx. So it might have been a good macro play to not take the inhib there. And knowing how good both these teams can be, I'd say that that's exactly what happened.
Also with the fact that you have 2 minutes until the next Baron is going to spawn, meaning you can try to go and crack up one more lane, and then look to get the Baron, as bot tower has been cracked up right now, meaning there's no this line, and now you both the lines you work with, rather it is top lane or rather this is mid lane, both of them will be beneficial if you want to go for Baron.
I feel like what we're going to see from NSF right now is they're going to shove out all the waves, they're going to clear their own jungle, they're going to look for vision control on the top side of the map, and by that time Baron will be spawning. So it's just a question of what Momentum will do to try to prevent, counteract, or cross-map this play.
We're still having 8,000 gold difference. The only team in my
if you want a gold difference win from back in the day, talk about CLG versus Moscow 5 when they won with an 11k gold disadvantage all the way back in Season 3.
Yes, that's true. I was looking for a little bit more of a recent example, and what came into my mind was Mad Lions against Rogue, when they were falling behind constantly 4, 6, 1 point I think even 8,000 gold difference, and they still managed to drag the game and win it. So I don't want to say that all hope is lost for SGM, because with 3 scaling champions and with the ability to drag the game a little bit more further, maybe wait for the elder Drake, you can.
I'd just like to stop this point to point out Baron spawning in 40 seconds. Everyone on NSF recalls, spends their gold. Look at the vision control they have on the side of the map for Momentum. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wards in the jungle of Momentum for the side of NSF. Momentum are starting to clear them now, but but NSF first on the Baron. They've spent all of their gold. Everyone's recalled. The waves are in okay positions. They could be a little bit nicer, but they're in a really good position to take this Drake. And like I said, the side of SG Momentum, they have stand your ground champs. They're not that great at getting into the fights unless they get a round warp. So let's see how this fight plays out.
Let's see, because SGM are looking to contest it. They're interested to contest it, and they will try. The Baron has been started. I am positive of that, and yes, we can see it too. SGM, I don't think they realize that the Baron has been started. It seems like the rest
Blue
of the team...
Trinket used. They know now, Blue Trinket.
They blow
Kung Fu gets stunned. That's a lot of poke onto him.
But the Crushing Guard prevents at least somewhat a bit more damage. But the Baron has been done, and now the trigger has been pulled. Splay today trying to get down as many people as he possibly can. Barker Watch is just going into the enemy, but he will be slain in the end with the Chaos Storm, though, providing so much. Rozu now trying to bring down as many people as he can, but he won't be able to do it. The double kill coming onto the Ego. Nami, in the meantime, has been killed. Kung Fu with the Gore Drinker, taking so much damage, but he will not be taken down. Quadra kill coming for Kung Fu.
Viego.
For Viego, yeah, thank you.
I feel like I'd have to help you out at the end there. And I must say, that was a good attempt by Momentum, but I feel like NSF, they had the vision control, they got there first, they started the Drake with the Viego and Lucian combo, who, Viego on those two items, he's got the double lifesteal, he can tank Baron for as long as he needs to, and I feel like Kung Fu just stepped up a little bit too far, got caught out by the gravity field of the Victor, and Momentum, I feel like in that position, they just needed to say, okay, our Leona's chunked, our Zinzao's chunked, we need to back off, we need to seed this, because they already had the 8k gold disadvantage, and they're pulling the trigger when both of their engages are at half health. So a little bit of a misplay there. Not the end of the game, but Baron buff and Hextech Soul on the side of NSF, you've got to feel like they're fancying their chances in this game.
It seems like with the Soul, that might be the way of trying and going for... Maybe... I'm actually thinking what is like the next way of doing here for the NSF, because they have the Hextech Soul in their hands, so meaning either they fish for one more team fight, or they can just straight down march down enemy base.
I feel like the way that I would prefer to end this game right now, if I'm on the side of NSF, is I send 5 people top lane, or even 4 people top lane, and the Tom Kench in the bot lane, or the mid lane, and you look to crack that third inhib, because third inhib plus Baron buff basically means you've almost guaranteed the game. So, as you can see, they're sending 4 people top, and they've got 1 person mid.
It is indeed true. As we were speaking, the culling has been used onto Ruzu to chunk him down as much as he could to bring down Ruzu, but didn't manage to do so as he managed to get back in time. And here comes the army of Baron buffed minions. Seems to be like the last stand now for SGM. Can they do anything?
Momentum, how are you going to get yourselves back into this game? It is now or never as the third inhibitor is taken down.
And it is indeed. First inhibitor is going, and now there's only Nexus towers that are there. Huge damage coming from the Hextech Soul. A tidal wave is not going to find a lot of people, but you will zone them away.
And another point is that NSF took that inhibitor at the perfect time, as we see 6 super minions coming in on the next wave.
This is way too big of an army. Flay today getting crushed almost instantly. Viego, though, will get a shot down. That's a Super Mega Death Rocket that will hit quite a lot of targets. But Kaiser Mubi with the double kill of his own, with the triple, with the quadra. But the Penta has been stolen by Parker Watcher. As
X9 Victor says to Lucian in the chat as the Nexus is about to go down.
The Nexus is about to go down, and so is the first game. That goes to NSF.
I must say that was very, very well played on the side of NSF. A couple of early game blips, and well, I wouldn't even say blips. I'd just say it was a good answers by Momentum as they were looking to fight their way back into the game with the scaling comp that they had. And yeah, I just think NSF played to their comp well. They got the early Drakes. They didn't let Momentum scale. They did. I think a point which showed me that they knew how to win this game is when they decided not to take that inhib in bot lane. They knew that if they took that inhib, that's just an extra wave of free XP and gold for momentum, and they knew that they wanted them to challenge them on every objective fight.
To be fair, it was a brilliant first game. Like, you can't wish for anything better rather than that. Both of the teams showcasing their power. Both of the teams showcasing what are they able to do. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on a short break. Be sure not to go anywhere way too far, as when we are back, we will have some more League of Legends for you. Second game, NSG versus NSF. SGM versus NSF. I'm getting those letters confused. See you in a minute.
We'll get it by game 5. There we go. Now we're on.
Wait.
Yeah. You need to change the map size in game to 30.
Shut up. Don't say anything now.
Okay.
as we are about to catch up, we are already approaching drafts, ladies and gentlemen. We are already in the draft for the game 2, NSF against SGM, and we have the change of the sides. Am I correct?
Yes, it looks like NSF are on blue side and Momentum are on red side for this game. And we already have all 6 bands locked in. We have the Lee Sin Aurelia Vayne, and we have the Lucian Ziggs and Trundle. And the Xin first picked again. I find that interesting that both teams seem to think that Xin Zhao is a safe first pick. Definitely one of the stronger junglers on current meta, with the Lee Sin taken out of the equation, so no surprise there.
Can you really blame them, though? Xin Zhao has been working perfectly, I would say, through all around the game, really. So,
yeah. I mean, at the moment, I would definitely say that that he's fallen down the pecking order a little bit with the rise of the assassins and also the rise of Vi and Viego on current patch, and there's the Viego answering it. But yeah, it's definitely one that teams will be familiar with, comfortable with. So, no surprise to see it picked up. And are we watching the same draft?
I feel like we do.
That's a Jinx and a Viego.
I feel like we do. And this time around, I just have a little bit of a question. Like, how are we going...
Whoa, hold the phone. That's a Kalista. Is that locked in?
Not yet. It is.
Wow, throwing down the gauntlet. Okay.
Ooh. Are we going to see Kalista Braum?
I'm thoroughly checking my notes. We see the Kalista lock in and the Braum, maybe?
Is it? I mean, if it is, this is going to be so huge.
This is a lot to talk about with so little preparation.
Yes,
wow,
it is.
Kalista Braum. Okay, NSF.
This is a big surprise.
Yeah, locking in the Kalista, and now I must admit, I am thoroughly surprised by that. I have not seen many Kalistas recently. In fact, I'm pretty sure that she's one of the lowest pick rates on. Yep, 2% pick rate on current patch. Soraka Jinx? No, I don't think. Wow,
they locked it in.
Okay. So Brill,
yes, yes, my dear Wolf, I'm listening.
Did we get the right spectate link?
I think we did. Yeah, I think we did.
Right, Victor band coming in, Tom Kench band for NSF as we try and follow this draft as best we can.
This is off the chart. It's not like in the script, man. It's not going by the script.
So I'll be honest, I checked both teams' OPGGs looking to see what sort of picks we could be looking for. Would you believe it? No Kalistas in any of the champs of the ADCs.
Let me guess, there was no Sorakas as well.
No, there was 1 or 2 Sorakas.
Okay.
I believe Flay does like to play it, but I don't believe I saw it for anyone else.
I mean,
the Blanc ban coming in, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Vex ban following it to
or maybe
counteract that. The Set ban. Well, if they're banning Set, they're probably looking to pick Sylas, as Set is, despite the fact that it puts you very AD heavy, Set mid lane is one of the best champions to play into the Sylas. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Sylas pick on the side of NSF if it's not picked up by Momentum here.
I haven't seen Set being played on mid though for such a long amount of time.
It's a very niche pick. You only really pick it if you feel like your comp has enough AP damage to warrant the Set into the Sylas. This Momentum draft, and there's the Sylas pick. Yeah. Like I said, if you ban the Set, you're usually looking to pick the Sylas mid lane. When you're not looking to pick the Set top lane. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Sylas locked in, but I'd be very interested to see what Momentum answer it with. No Aurelia on the table. They could go for the Rise pick. Rise isn't too bad into Sylas, however you would be giving the Sylas access to Realm Warp, which can be Cause for
That's the
concern.
thing, though. When you pick up Silas, it feels like such a great way for both answering the mid laners and also trying to bring the pace to those mid laners. Because when you pick up Silas, you have to. You do know that any ultimate that will be picked up in the mid lane is now yours as well.
Yeah. One of my favorite picks into Silas personally is picking up the Zoe. She doesn't really fit well into this comp, as it always feels bad as the Silas to steal a Zoe ult. However, the fact that you have the Soraka and Malphite on the side of Momentum means the Silas has probably got a smile on his face right now. Looks mid lane. I'd like to see it. We
Oh,
get the relationship mid lane. Um,
and it is locked
for any
in.
of you lore followers. Notice how we're talking about the mid lane because we do not want to touch on that bot lane matchup.
We will still have plenty of time to
Yep.
pick up in that bot lane, all right? So, with that being
So,
said, back to back to some other things that are much more relevant. So, with picking up locks, we know you as one of the absolutely exploding locks players here in the league. So,
proud of that quadra kill.
yes, and you should be. I'd love to get a little bit of insight into that Lux into Silas. So what do you think about that?
So personally, I haven't played the Lux into Silas specifically, but into that matchup, I'd be looking to. Obviously, you want the early pressure because it's a Silas, so his early laning phase can be. He struggles to maintain control of the wave, but obviously, if he manages to get the all in, then he will win every single all in against the Lux. But he is fairly predictable. I think it's more a case of you kind of have to feint each other. Because if the Silas uses his E before the Lux uses Q, then he's fairly easy to manage. But if you're a Lux who's wanting to clear the wave, your main tool for wave clearing with Lux is E. And when you've used that, that's a huge chunk of your damage down, and Silas can look to posture aggressively afterwards. So he can look to maneuver aggressively, bait out the Q, and then look for the all-in, or at least like some heavy trading. So I would say it's a favourable matchup for the Silas if he can get onto the Lux. However, once the Lux has completed Lost Chapter and Hextech Alternator, the Lucent Singularity will one-shot the backline caster minions for pretty much the entire rest of the game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Lux kind of just say, alright, you win the all-in, but good luck doing anything when you can't even touch me because the wave's gone.
So what we're looking at right now is a matchup in which mid will be battling for getting yourself into the state when you are free to do anything around the map as soon as possible, right?
Yep.
Then there's top lane. Now, something we didn't even have the time to touch upon, mainly because there's a little bit way too much destructions coming along the way. Now, top lane. Mordekaiser into Malphite. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it definitely favours the Mordekaiser in the 1v1. However, Malphite obviously brings a lot more to team fights. So if you're the Mordekaiser, you want to be disrupting that as much as possible. He's got a few high priority ult targets for team fights. Obviously, if he can take the Soraka out of the team fight, that's a huge chunk of the healing of momentum down. If he can take the Malphite out before he gets a chance to ult his entire team, it's a great way of cancelling all the CC. So he's got a few targets who he could ult pretty. Yeah, Viego's nice. Even the Lux taking out the huge amount of utility and damage that Lux has at the moment is a good target as well. I'm fairly certain that NSF are looking for. This is a similar draft to their previous one, in that they probably get outscaled this game, but if they play to their strengths, which is they played well macro early, they got a couple of dragons, they played objectives well, they had good vision control, first objectives, they can snowball this game and win it in roughly the same fashion that they won the previous game. So NSF looking to just rinse and repeat. Whereas Momentum, again, they look to more have like a scaling comp. The Jinx scales, Viego scales well into the late game, Soraka and Malphite will always bring utility and teamfight presence. And the Lux, well, we've seen in the SLE just what a Lux can do in the late game teamfight.
That's the thing, though. That's what I'm looking at right now and thinking, okay, this might turn out to be in a different fashion. Because as much as NSG or NSF in this particular instance are looking to go with a similar team composition that they do possess, they have the maybe they don't have the tanky support this time around, or other way around. They didn't have the tanky support back then. They do have the tanky support right now, right? But they still look to pursue the game in the same fashion they did. However, as GM, I feel like this is an adaptive comp, because in the previous one, you were just scaling and scaling and scaling, and hold on, guys, we're scaling. This time
Yeah,
around,
I feel like they have a lot more this time to pull the trigger. Like last game, they kind of struggled because their engage tools were fairly limited. Like Kale, Rise, Jinx, they're all, like I said, stand your ground. They don't like their engage was a realm warp. That was all they really had last game. However, this game, they have the Malphite ult, they have Lux bindings. Because even though Lux binding isn't that reliable, when you pair that up with the Lux E and the Jinx W, it's looking a lot nicer for the Lux to be able to land that binding. Maybe get a couple of slows stacked, and it's not looking too bad. But much more reliable is Malphite's Unstoppable Force. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Malphite ult in. But I think if Lariso is savvy, the second that Malphite charges Unstoppable Force, if he takes him to the Death Realm, Momentum are looking kind of rough in terms of engage and team fighting. Because Viego will have to maybe take a tankier build so that the Soraka can keep him alive longer. But I definitely think I favour Forsaken's draft in this one.
I can totally get behind what you're talking about here, because at some point I would say that SGM are still looking a little bit more in the terms of we stand our ground, mainly with the binding provided by Jinx, with the binding provided by Soraka too, right? Because she has an opportunity to lock people up, but the problem is you need them to walk into your little area. Only at this moment they will be locked, right? And there's a few seconds before it happens. And the binding with the slow, yes, of course, but it's much easier to control people when they go into you. So, I mean, now I would say that now we're approaching the moment of what we have been talking about in the previous draft with the only difference that this is the time to pull the trigger. In terms of you want to win the fight, you want to win the game, you have to be at those objectives first, and this time seriously first.
I think what Momentum did to try to build on their previous game's draft is they said, right, we had plenty of damage, but we couldn't get to the point where our carries were online. So let's ditch the extra scaling pick. Let's take an engage champ. Let's try and make sure that we're on objectives first this time. And we should have enough frontline and engage to be able to pull the trigger and then kite backwards. I feel like with a Callista, she's fairly short range. Silas is melee, Xin Zhao's melee, Mordekai's is melee. All of Forsaken's champs want to be on top of you. So I think it's not a bad idea for Momentum to say, right, we have Jinx traps, we have Soraka silence, we have Lux E, we have binding, we have Viego stealthing around and stunning people. So I think if Momentum get to objectives first, as I said last game, their comp is in a really good place. But I do feel like Forsaken, if they run over the early game, they're just going to snowball out of control.
Well, we are about to find out. As ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you on the Summoner's Rift, as we are looking to go into the game 2.
We have 5-man stacking it again on both sides, as we have Forsaken going to the bot lane looking for a 5-man invade, as we have Momentum on the top side doing pretty much the exact same thing.
That's the thing, though. Nobody's going to see each other. And now it's about who is going to give up on what.
Yeah, I think it'll be similar to game 1, where they get their early game vision. I don't think we'll see any fighting, but both teams will get early game vision, want to see where the junglers are starting, and from there we'll... 5-man recall. Maybe they catch the Callista if she walks up too close. Nah, the recall's finished. But we have award for Forsaken on Momentum's red buff, and we have award for Momentum on NSF's red buff. So both junglers will know where the other one is starting, and we'll potentially see fights at Crabs, or again, just a handshake of a trade.
We'll have to wait and see just a little bit more. It is rather interesting though. Both of the games we had some kind of a cheesy level 1 play, but neither of them has succeeded.
Now, the interesting thing to note here is while Kung Fu knows that Parad Knight is starting on his blue buff, he doesn't know the timing of it. So unless he knows... Oh, wow. Botline trading.
Yes, it is. Kaiser Mummy in a little bit of trouble. His Ignite is getting popped as well. Oh! Flash from the Q will not, though, save and trade of kills. Minecraft Jam is going to take him down.
And now we have the supportal combat.
I think that supportal combat will not be a mortal one, as one last punch is going to be the end of this sentence.
Tale as old as time. The door versus the banana.
I can't help myself but imagine this.
Now, you love to see it. ADCs, both 0 CS, and they're just getting to lane to take their first CS at 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah, the problem is that the kill was given to Minecraft Drowned, right? Well, not given, he had to pick it up. So that means
we had the first blood for Ben Tool, so he's sitting on double longswords.
Yes, while all that...
Nice binding. Nice bit of poke there by Fofi.
And all the Kalista has is just one control word.
Yeah. I think this bot lane can still go either way, but with the current position of the lane, if Ben Tool wants to freeze this in place...
That's some good damage
nice trading.
With the good proc of the passive coming from Minecraft. He's almost dead, by the way! Still not able, though, to secure the kill. It seems like Kaiser Mummy got a little bit upset with the first level
However,
play.
the benefit of taking the longsword is he's almost back to full health, and he still has 2 health potions left.
And it seems that will be one of those reasons why SGM, or rather NSF, are going to go back and just recall. Oh, look at the itemization, though, coming from Minecraft Drowned. Interesting. He's going to go for the new item.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I'm just realizing now, we have the names of the teams the wrong way around.
I fixed it.
Sweet.
Yep. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I can't secure myself from a little bit of those technical troubles. Because, let's just say because. Alright, so
it matters little as we see the game looking to be just calming down a little bit. Not quite as intense as the first game. However, we do see a little bit of invading on the top side. Might get a fight here.
Might be looking to try and go into Kung Fu. Misses with his W, though, so that might be the moment when they stop. Ruzu, he has the level advantage, but doesn't have the mana advantage. The stun will not get connected. Oh, the battle has been commencing. Kung Fu now drowning a little bit. Oh, failed flash coming from Riso, as it will probably save Kung Fu's life here.
Yeah, some interesting trading going on. Nice little invade, but a trade of flashes for the top lane and jungle. So I'd be interested to see what Parad Knight can do with this. Has the flash advantage on Viego, which means that if he looks for a counter gank, or even just a gank of his own, he knows that Kung Fu is at a slight disadvantage.
And the Scuttles now has been taken both by the NSF, which it warms their heart to get some more vision down those two rivers, especially with how aggressively they are interested to try and play this whole thing around. It just feels like it's a good advantage to have double Scuttle Crabs and be able to see at both sides of the river.
Yeah, I agree. I think the more important thing will be the gold and XP advantage that it gives over to Parad Knight. As we see that... oh no, he's taking an early recall. But I think if he hadn't went for the full clear, we would have seen him hit level 5, while Kung Fu is, I think he should still be level 4 after he takes Gromp here.
Just a little bit longer and we will see it. No, he's going to be level 5, actually.
Ding's 5. So maybe the XP difference isn't as big as I first thought, as we see some more bot lane trading.
In top lane, finally hitting their level 6s. The Death Realm will be now available. Unstoppable Force is not yet.
Surprisingly nice little CS advantage for Parker in the mid lane. I must admit, I'm surprised to see that. I would have thought
in the meantime,
bot lane fighting.
Yeah, it's a good stun coming onto Kaiser Mummy. I don't think he's getting out of this one, but the heal is going to be used, and the passive has been procced. And here comes the teleport we've been talking about. Bantul flashing in forward to take and secure the kill, but the door has secured the kill for their own as well. Now Bentul, the one in trouble, gonna go down thanks to the spark plane.
Plays in the Death Realm.
And a flash coming from Flay today. But it was
unfortunate for Flay.
Unnecessarily.
And the Drake goes over to the side of NSF.
Alright, that was some rapid team fighting.
Yeah, and the Braum, I think Minecraft Drowned is looking pretty happy here on his 2-0-2.
All he had to do is just go around, slump some people with his door, and he got 2 kills.
And I must admit that it was a nice attempt by Fofi to try to help out with the Lux laser, but yeah, credit to NSF.
That was stolen. That was stolen laser. That was laser coming from Parker Watcher. That's why he secured the kill onto Bentul.
You are absolutely correct, good sir. My mistake. Yeah, but it's again showing off the strength of the Silas.
Oh, look at that! Paranoid going onto Bentul yet again. The long range engage is now getting hit onto Soraka, but no E, and second kill will not be donated over to Kaiser Mummy.
Credit to NSF. They know what their comp is designed to do, and they're executing it perfectly. I'm very happy with the early game pathing and macro of Paradise here, as he's choosing to repeatedly gank the bot lane now. And I must admit, like NSF, the fact that Momentum looked for the gank bot lane, and immediately there was the answer with the TP by Larisso. Parker roamed down, got the stolen Lux laser to secure the kill. They know that their comp needs to survive, needs to look good in the early game and scale into the mid game with Drakes and Rift Heralds, and they're trying their best to execute it, and they're succeeding rather nicely.
And as you were just speaking about the Rift Herald, it has been picked up, but by SGM, as Kung Fu has finished it just now, which might be actually a ticket to get out of this messy situation they are in right now, because they have a little bit over than 2,000 gold deficit on their hands. And you really need to look for a way how to get out of this situation.
Yeah, might be looking for a top lane dive here as Parker steals the Unstoppable Force.
He's indeed, and using it almost instantaneously. That's some good damage coming onto Kung Fu, but the Heartbreaker is going to be able to get out. Here comes Rozosta, so he's going to be dragged.
Death Realm is available.
But will it be used? And will not be, as Kung Fu has been scared out of his own jungle.
No. Now, I must admit, Larissa is playing this top lane really well. He's got a huge CS lead in the top lane. He's getting fairly close to being able to pick up his first turret plate. As an all-in looks to be in the bot lane.
All-in onto Bensul. Their passive is now stacking up. He's stunned. Takes quite some damage. He will not go anywhere from here as Kaiser Mummy finally picking up his first kill. But Minecraft Jam might be in a little bit of trouble. That's a good pick up coming from Fofi. Good damage and fleet footwork coming from Kaiser Mummy. He's almost taken down Fofi here. He's still trying to get alive, but with the E will get the double kill. And Parker Watcher might be the one in trouble right now. Kung Fu taking some good damage, but no execution and no dive.
Might be incoming as well.
Yes, it is. The initiation has been started as the heal from Soraka might be actually the game changer. Paradise will be shotted down here as the Herald also has been spawned in the bot lane.
SG Momentum refusing to go quietly as they answer the early game aggression from NSF in spectacular fashion. They lose the bot lane all in, but they realize that Braum and Kaiser are now missing both of their ultimates. So they send the cavalry in bot lane, they pick up some kills, and a nice Soraka ult saves Razuzu from going down 0 for 1. and they pick up the 1-for-1 in the top lane.
I have a feeling we might have another fight here, but the Q missing thanks to the fleet football coming from Benso. Flash forward coming from After ground, but now he's isolated and he will pay the price of wanting the kill. And now the support grabbing himself a kill as well.
Small bit of over-aggression there on the side of NSF, but sometimes you just gotta go for it. I respect it.
But it didn't really work. That's the problem.
Oh, absolutely, it didn't work. And now we're looking for more vision on the Drake as
Play today might be in a bit of trouble. Kaiser Mummy now looking to go onto him. That's a good binding. Whoa!
Well played, Fofi. Parker,
okay.
This ult, it might actually kill.
I think
until still has the flash, however.
Parrot Knight not going to chase him down. Parker Watcher still here around. Kung Fu and Fofi are now looking for it, but they don't have the miss of the W. But now the cone will be used, meaning that they'll lock in Parrot.
Takes out the blast cone.
And he doesn't have a flash, but that's a good playing around with the Crescent Guard. Bento is still here. That's a good binding coming onto Fofi. Now it's the fight between Kung Fu and Xin Zhao, and he's losing that one as Parker Watcher will be kited out in the bot lane. Or maybe not, actually.
He is a Silas, and Kung Fu is rather low. Needs to wait for a Soraka to heal him up a little bit. Razuzu just making sure that Parker has no backup.
That's the heal. Oh! Whoa! What is happening here?
Wow, that was almost perfect by Parker. I think he... never mind, TP's coming in.
That's the Mordekaiser, that's the raid boss. A good knock-up, and the Stumble will force onto Kaiser Mummy. The Death Realm has been summoned. Kung Fu now is stuck, and he's not able to join his teammates. Kaiser Mummy is still running for his life, and Loriso is not going to be happy with what he has when he gets out of the Death Realm and gets sent there immediately afterwards.
And just in time for the Drake to spawn. SGM and NSF are defying me to analyze this game.
Parrot Knight still looking to chase him down. And Kaiser Mummy and Parker Watcher are already here as well. Maybe initiation. Yes, it is coming on to Bensol, and that's unstoppable. That means that Kaiser Mummy has been picked up, and it seems like this Fiesta is still growing up. 2 Sparkling Lights has been used right now. A good knock-up. Parker Watcher now picking up Rosotus. And Parrot Knight is still looking to try to extend his lead, and he will bring down Bensol, as it was a very long fight here at the Dragon Pit.
22 kills in 13 minutes.
That pretty much explains it, yeah.
If you thought SLE was boring, I defy you to call this game boring.
That's pretty much everything that I have to say, really.
Yeah, that about sums this game up.
Yeah,
we tried to analyze it, and they keep fighting. Yeah, Ben Tool is a prime example. I know. You remember when Parker and Parker and Parrot Knight were looking to dive him, and he backed up a little bit and started his recall? From that point on, he was still in the fight for another 3 minutes.
The bravery of
Didn't
that
get to recall.
The bravery of that man, the courage. He can call himself a proud Gryffindorian.
He can indeed. We have a small lull state. I will dare to utter those words, and I will immediately take them back as we see the bot lane of NSF looking to dive the Malphite.
The first turret has been picked up, and here comes the Death Realm as well. Ruzu is running for his life as bot lane is having some fight too. Bensol now getting stuck between Parrot Knight and Parker Watcher. He will be picked up despite the last wish coming. Whoa! Still, though, it will be picked up by the door. No, not by the door. The door has picked up the rock. Now, in the meantime, Kaiser Mummy with a little bit of overextend. Kung Fu gets on the slither of his HP. Ooh.
Health bars on both sides of the rift as... I don't even know, man. Kung Fu, excellent play at the end there to salvage the the top lane dive. And on the bot side, NSF pick up the kill. This game is nuts. We have a lull state for 30 seconds, and then we have a dive on top lane, and we have a fight in the bot lane.
I think that at least now we have a second to breathe.
Yeah, and I think we can start looking at some of the items coming across. As we can see, the beneficiaries of this game so far, definitely the Xin Zhao on the side of NSF, and I would hazard a guess that the Mordekaiser after that first blood tower, yep, his gold is substantially ahead of the Malphites. And also, Fofi on this looks, he has been quietly racking up the kills and assists.
And in the meantime, Paradise going on to Bento yet again. He's going to be silenced and rooted, but will he be saved with all the healing provided by Flay today? No, he won't be, as the Genro is now on the king spree. Now Soraka, the ultimate support, the ultimate healer, is running to his teammates to seek some defense, and he will, as the Herald might be the target here for NSF.
And I think this is the one game where you would not like to be an ADC. Both ADCs not having the nicest of games right now, although not too far behind the teammates in terms of gold. Herald picked up for NSF, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it mid lane straight away, but I'd like to see it used in the bot lane.
We'll see. In the meantime, top lane might have a little bit of more action as
both junglers are pathing towards the top side.
Riso, decides to go on to Kung Fu with his own and take some good damage as well. Paradise is here. Maybe we'll get the drop of the Herald. Yes, we will be getting a drop of the Herald.
Drop top lane.
And here comes the rest of the cavalry getting thrown in there. Minecraft drown. Unstoppable force onto Kaiser Mummy. He might not even been able to survive this, but he's still alive thanks to Brom here. And the Death Row has been summoned as well. And it's the fight between the Master of the Death and the Ruined King. The Death Wish will not save you, as the rest of the team are slowly making their way here. The Sparkling Light is not going to bring down Kalista, as the turret has been picked up, and it just seems that NSG are looking, or NSF to be precise, are looking to be the winners of this fight.
Turret picked up in the top lane. Drake is spawning in less than a minute, so I wouldn't be surprised to see resets across the up.
Minecraft Drown might be picked up in here, but Larissa is here, so you don't really want to go in at this point. Ruzu still, though, throwing some rocks, throwing some rockets. Sparker Watcher, though, silently on the duty of the trap of the ambush, but will be spotted in the ward.
Yeah, both teams. I wouldn't be surprised to see Forsaken looking for some resets here, or if they're feeling like they don't have too much gold to spend, a couple of them might stay out on the map, but I want to see them looking for this Drake vision, as we see the Mordekaiser TPing in. And we see the Xin Zhao clearing out the wards. I like this. I like this from Forsaken. They're making sure they get to the objective first. They're making sure that they have some vision. Mordekaiser TP's in early because he knows he has to be there.
And SGM are just in no position to try and fight for it, as they will handle the soul point to NSF. And we're going to have ourselves an Ocean Soul.
I feel like the Drake's being taken so fast by Forsaken might not give Momentum enough time to scale. What Momentum really want here is they want to get a Drake themselves just to stall the game out. Their Lux is strong. Their Jinx will scale if they can get her some solo XP and some gold in a side lane perhaps. But if Forsaken pick up this next Drake, I would be very surprised to see Momentum win this game.
Oh, don't forget it's a best of 5 series, so they still have one more shot at making a mistake. Otherwise, it might be a problematic. Because
I still think there's plenty of time in this game for Momentum to come back, but I feel like they really, really would like a Drake to stall out the soul, because they really want more time for this Jinx to get more gold.
Baron is up as well. So one of the teams might opt to go and try to take it down. I feel like if anybody will be interested to do that, that will be NSF, as they are in the lead currently for 4,000 gold. And you can see that they are amongst the richest people on the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, a large chunk of that gold difference is in the top lane, as Larisso has a 60 CS lead and he's got both towers. The only benefit for Rezustas, if I can say it right, probably not, is that he is a Malphite. And as we all know, Malphite presses one button and he can knock up an entire team.
Extremely useful rock, I would say. As the turret in the mid lane is still holding, clinging to life.
Yeah.
And see, ooh, I
would like to see someone from
Flash, and the sparkling light will not bring him down.
Nice little sidestep there for Fofi. Not sure if the Stone on Lux laser would have killed, but always nice to see the sidestep of the final spark.
You were saying?
Yeah, I would like to see. I think that Momentum could look to maybe make a play onto this Mordekaiser. But despite the fact that I think Flay knows that Bentool is being targeted immensely by Forsaken, I'd like to see him give the Jinx some solo gold in the mid lane. Solo XP in the mid lane if possible, because I feel like he needs every advantage he can get right now just to stay relevant.
He's falling behind quite massively. He's just hitting his level 10, meaning that Fofi. Will he steal it? Oh, steals the blue.
Nice little steal there. Paradonite did have the smite up, it elected not to use it, so nice little steal there by Fofi. As we see the bot laners.
That's some cowboy exchange over here, just single shots being fired from one AD carry to another. But I wonder who's going to pull the trigger, and especially on what. And that's the wonder I get. The unstoppable force is going to be used onto Kaiser Mummy. He's now quite low, but he will flash away and be defended. In the meantime, Parrot Knight looking to go onto somebody, finds the Ruser as his target, and the fighters continue as this just an English-styled brawl here. Kung Fu still looking for a play onto Parrot Knight. Will get some good damage, but not able to bring him down just yet. Bento might be now the target for the engage. And NSF just opts to not continue.
Momentum surrounded on all sides.
But yes, they are, and that might be a little bit of a trouble, but they managed to escape through the choke point. Will they go forward and try to extend their lead, though? Because now...
And in all that craziness, no one dies.
Yes, that's... Ooh, you might have to take your words back here. As Kung Fu will be stuck in here for a little bit of while. Not enough damage coming onto the Master of the Death.
And I think the true hero of that fight for Momentum was the Soraka.
Oh,
the anti-healing from Forsaken is there, but it's on the Kai'Sa and the Braum. And the Braum is only really going to CC... the Kalista and the Braum. Kai'Sa Mummy is playing Kalista.
Yes.
But objective bounties are now up if Momentum can find anything on the map that Forsaken will let them take.
And the Drake is going to spawn in just about 5 seconds, and I don't think that SGM will be able to try and fight for it if they opt to stay for this mid turret. They might actually lose the objective right here. The dragon is going down relatively fast. The sparkling light will be used, and the unstoppable force will be used as well. Kung Fu is in the pit. Who will take the Drake? It will be taken by the NSF, and the fight is about to escalate right now as Ruzu has been slain. Kung Fu is stuck in the realm of the dead and will be picked up in here as well. And Bentool is making everything he can, everything in his power to delay NSF from taking the Baron. But it will not happen as they have taken 3 victims and they will take the Baron as well.
Yeah, I think Momentum there were in two minds as what they wanted to do. They looked like they wanted to take the mid lane for the objective bounties. And then they suddenly decided to switch the challenge for the Drake Soul, and I think if they just committed to one or the other, they might have had more of a chance. But now they lose the Soul and they lose the Baron, so this right now is Forsaken's game to lose.
Yeah, have a very rough situation to be in if you are SGM. There is 8,000 gold difference, almost, a little bit under that. You don't have the Ocean Soul, which will make your team fighting rather harder against the composition that NSF do have right now. As we've seen, they are also able to play back and forth.
So
and of course, the Baron.
Yeah, so we have Baron buff and Dragon Soul before 30 minutes for NSF. Where have we seen this before, bro?
Let me take a
Last
guess.
game.
Is that true? I would never have guessed that.
I think the real struggle of this game for momentum is Ben Tool just got absolutely just wrecked the entire game. He just got picked on and bullied throughout laning phase, through the mid game, and it really shows in his items. He has not even been able to pick up his second item yet. While we have multiple people on the side of momentum with 2.5 and almost 3 items.
It seems like a big struggle, not will deny that. But if you think about it, there's still a way to do that. If SG Momentum will manage to drag the game into the Elder Drake, we've seen Elder Drake to do wonders. And let's see if they will have enough time as the siege is about to commence. It already commenced on the top lane and it will be commencing here in the mid as well. Lariso is looking for a way to begin the the assault here at the top. Bot lane, however, Parrot Knight. No, bot lane still. That's 2 of our interest points. Top lane, we have all 3 actually to interest points. Here's top lane, mid lane, and bot lane. Here we go. The fight is about to commence. Parrot Knight is now fighting with Ben Tool. In the meantime, that's a kill picked up by Kung Fu. Kaiser Mummy is now out of it. Soraka will take some good kill as well. Double kill coming onto Daxon Zhao, but Kung Fu is looking as much as he can with the Heartbreaker. He's going to escape now, though. The Lux has been picked up, and only Kung Fu and Ruzu are the man to live and tell the tale. Triple kill getting picked up by Parker Watcher, and you can't do anything with that as the Baron minions will pour into your base, the inhibitors will fall, and so will your base.
Really well played on the side of Forsaken there, and I must say that they might be losing the game, but if you looked at these games from the scoreboard alone, it would not tell the full story, because Momentum made a very heroic last stand there. The fact that they made that team fight look close was mightily impressive.
It was indeed, and even the last, how do you say that? The last, let's say,
team fight?
Not team fight, but the last moment when you see the Super Mega Death Rocket connecting onto Parker Watcher, it just, I think it gives me a little bit of a feeling that SGM still do have something up in their sleeve. I'm really hoping for that, because it just feels that they were almost able to take the game in their own hands, but just not as much. They have just something little that they lack in order to get the game into their own hands.
Yeah, I think that game 1 and 2 played out pretty much the same. I think Forsaken drafted for early game pressure and scaling. Early game pressure and snowballing, whereas Momentum drafted for scaling. And I feel like Forsaken were able to just take the game and run with it. And there wasn't really anything Momentum could find to slow the game down just a little bit. So I think that Momentum might need to reassess what they're drafting, or they need to find a way to slow down Forsaken snowballing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to find out what is going to be the case, as the second game is going over to NSF, as we still have some room to fight for, as yes, it is match point. One more win for NSF and they take the finals of SLE. But will SGM bounce back? This is the big question. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. We are about to come back for game 3.
See
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live with the third game, and the drafts are already about to hit us up. What is going on?
Well, we have the Lee Sin ban again, third game in a row, and a Trundle ban as well. Same bans. It seems I wouldn't be surprised to see an Aurelia ban out of NSF as well, or a Vayne ban because of Ben Tool. Ziggs ban as well.
Yep.
Similar bans. Not much adaptation in terms of bans. There's the Aurelia ban. Locked in. And the Zinzao. So I'd be interested to see, is it a Viego first pick? With the Zinzao off the board?
That would be very interesting, to say the least. We are yet to see if that is going to be true or not.
Yeah, and we have the Gwen first pick for the side of Forsaken. And I am very interested to see with what momentum counter that with. No, a Misfortune.
Are they going to be fortunate enough?
I'm very, very trepidatious about this being locked in. And if it is locked in, I would be very interested to see... Nope, there's the Tom Catch.
There's the Tom Catch. I would say it worked rather nicely for them in the first game, so why not try and spin it around one more time?
Yeah, I think just... I think he had a very strong Tom Kench game in game one. He got the solo kill on the Jinx. He had a CS lead. He played aggressively. Was able to frontline pretty successfully. The Lucian. Now, do we see the Nami... Nope, straight with the Nautilus. So they're saying you can have the potential Lucian-Nami combo. We're going to take Kai'Sa Nautilus.
Oh, that's an... Oh? Okay.
It's an interesting one.
So...
And not that... Surely they're going to pick the Nami.
I mean, I think they have to. That will provide them with such a lot of brute force in the lane, but on the other hand...
The Nami is very strong with Lucian, however, Leona is an excellent counter to the Nautilus pick.
And they think the same way you do, my friend, as Leona is getting locked in.
Now, we have no junglers and no mid laners picked, and we already have three junglers taken off the board, so will we see any more jungle bans?
Yes, we will.
Nocturne. Silas ban coming through, so we'll see that NSF do not have to ban the set for the second game in a row.
Why do I have a feeling we might see a Skarner?
I'm not sure whether we'll see a Skarner. At the moment, I think we'll definitely see a Viego unless it's taken away here. Lux ban. Respecting the looks.
Well, Fluffy has had a great game in the previous one on Lux, so I'm not particularly surprised about this.
With all these mid laners taken off, a Graves pick. Graves in the jungle, I feel like it's going to be Graves Viego as the jungle matchup, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a Ryze in the mid lane, or perhaps a Syndra.
Syndra's not banned, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, I think your S tier mid laners here, you're looking at a Ryze, a Syndra, maybe a Cassiopeia. By looking, she's rose very high in priority and solo queue this patch, alongside Viego.
Not only is it's going to be Camille instead of Darius.
So we're looking at a Gwen jungle. NSF breaking out the Gwen flex pick.
Gwen mid?
Could be Gwen mid.
We're going to find out.
Wow.
Zed jungle?
It could be Zed jungle, or it could be... Let's wait for the lock-in, because I think the only thing we can be sure of right now is Kai'Sa Nautilus bot lane.
Oh, Gwen jungle and Malzahar mid.
It could also be the Darius jungle. We haven't seen much of it.
No way.
But nope. So Gwen mid, Darius top, Gragas jungle is my best guess. Now, what do Momentum reply to the Gwen with?
This is such a flex pick here. I mean, there's three characters that can go anywhere around the map, really.
I would like to see the Graves here. The Xerath pick. Okay, just completely outranged the Gwen. Might have trouble killing her with the W, but the Zereth is locked in.
Zareth is indeed locked in, and this is looking. Oh, all right. There's so much ground that we need to cover.
Yeah, these are two completely different drafts from game one and game two. Momentum no longer looking for the scaling picks. They have the Vi for early game. They have Lucy and Leona early game. The Zereth does scale rather well. NSF, I'd say their draft is fairly similar again. They want to look for like early snowball, but I think Momentum finally have a comp that they can challenge the early game of Forsaken, and they can deny the snowballing that Forsaken look to get going and just never stop.
I mean, there's so actually this time around, I'm looking at SGM's draft and I like it much more than I did the previous ones, mainly because I feel like in their toolkit this time around, there's so much more potential and so much more things to work with.
While it may not exactly be a better theory draft, I feel it suits Momentum better because it's a good adaptation. They were struggling to survive the early mid game pressure that Forsaken were putting on them. They were still skirmishing and having some good fights and some good cross maps, a couple of good trades, but overall they were falling behind. They were falling behind in CS. They were losing objectives, losing towers. So having the Vi early game with the pressure of the Tom Kench, excuse me, as well as the Leona Lucian in the bot lane, and the fact that the Xerath definitely in the early game can pressure the Gwen immensely. They have a lot more tools to look for early game scuttles, Rift Heralds, Dragons, maybe look for a dive on bot or top lane with the the Xerath ultimate. So I think Momentum have had a good adaptation in this draft, and I'm very interested to see how they play the early game.
I absolutely agree with you on this point, and honestly speaking, what I'm looking at momentarily is just the overall amount of interesting combination you can come up with while I'm looking at the let's say the toolkit that SGM are possessing right now. Not only there's a lot of zoning potential, there's a lot of going in potential, there's a lot of potential of stopping your opponent from going on to you. There's pretty much all the kits, all the tools in your kit that you need to play around any given situation.
Yeah, I would say that both comps are very not very, but they're fairly one-dimensional. With a Gragas and a Vi, you know there's usually only one way they're going. A Vi especially. A Vi says one thing, I'm gonna press a button on one champ, and you aren't gonna move. Pair that up with the fact that you've got the Leona ulti to follow that up, you can guarantee that if Momentum get a Vi ulti on someone, they can pretty much 100 to 0 that champion.
Yes, definitely so. And this time around, I feel like we're going to see a lot more of those much more bigger and much more important plays coming from SGM, because let's not forget, last two games weren't good for them. They're 2-0, right? Meaning that this time you have no room for mistake. If you lose the series, you'll lose the finals, and you don't want that. So if you want to go for the reverse sweep, this is the time to step up and try to look for new opportunities and look for a new way how to play around NSF. And I actually do think that with Vi Kung Fu, he's been playing rather well. He's been playing really well in these two games, looking for a lot of opportunities to try and go in, to try and fight. I think that with Vi, he will have much more options.
Yeah, I feel like the standout performers so far on the side of Momentum over the course of both games has definitely been Kung Fu and Ruzu. I think if they can look to influence the map as much as possible, I think Fofi had a stellar game too. I think Ben too had a good game one, but I feel like Kung Fu and Ruzu were playing well over both games, and I think if they can capitalize on that, despite the fact that Darius likes the Tom Kench matchup, I think that with some early game pressure from Vi, they can look to get some early anti-healing on the Tahm Kench. You utilize the Zealot's long range for some quick wave clear and some easy roams because of just the pure amount of range advantage he has. I think that Momentum can very easily put up a good fight in this series, and this is the game to do it. With their backs against the wall, 2-0 down, balls in their court.
Indeed, indeed. And now we're getting confirmation. So it's going to be Larissa on Darius, top lane. Parrot Knight on Gwen, jungle, as you have absolutely correctly predicted. And
Gragas in the mid lane.
That I actually think that Pocket Watcher might be struggling into Xerath.
This game, this series has been nothing short of
amazing.
The drafts from both game 1's draft was pretty spicy, but nothing prepared us for game 2 and 3 drafts. The Callista pick, the Gwen jungle and Gragas mid lane. This is shaping up to be a banger, and I must admit, despite that Forsaken are 2-0 up, I don't think the scorelines of the series and the games tell the full story, because Momentum put up a decent fight in both games.
Yes.
If you look at the gold lead and the scoreline and the objectives, you say, oh, Forsaken had some fairly easy games, but Momentum were challenging them all the way, and they weren't too far off from taking game 1. Game 2 was a little more clear cut from Forsaken, but Momentum had their opportunities in game 1, and with a couple of plays here and there, they could have taken it. They were very close to getting their scaling comp online.
I think that with being rough around the edges, they still do have an opportunity to try and take this game in their own hands. Meaning that and that would be such a boost of morale, right? Because when you are facing a 2-0 opponent and you know that if he wins that game, you are out of the tournament. Not only out of the tournament, you're not going to be the finalist. When you're not the finalist, but you're not going to be the winner, right? There's nothing more than trying to fight for the first place. And I think that in case that SG Momentum will pick up, or Samsung Momentum apparently, will pick up this game, it is going to be such a boost of morale for them to try and execute the reverse sweep.
Yeah, I would look. I'm as unbiased as it gets for this series, but I would love to see Momentum take this game. I would love to see it because I want more League of Legends. Do you want more League of Legends, bro?
I do want more League of Legends, and I'm looking forward to Game 5. Scripted.
Let's flip the script. We've got a Vi pick. We've got a Gragas and Gwen.
I don't have any papers. I'm sorry. Otherwise, I would have done this.
We've got a Gragas pick and it isn't jungle. We've got a Gwen pick and it isn't top lane. And they're both on the same team. Forsaken are throwing the meta book out the window and saying, "We have our picks. We're gonna show them."
And I just feel like that would have been even more strange in case that we've seen Darius go mid and Gragas go top. That would have been the most bonkers out of the situation, really.
This series is full of surprises, and I'm hoping for more. So
we're expecting a switch between the lane phase. Orisa will decide that he wants to be a mid laner for NSM, and will go to stand up with Fluffy.
I would just like to clarify, we cannot confirm anything that Brill has just said.
No, not at all.
This is merely speculation.
Merely speculation. Wink.
As far as it is.
All right.
But yeah. So, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit.
Go ahead.
What do you think is going to be the level 1 play? Do you think we're going to see 5-man grouping up again, 2 ships passing in the night, or do you think we'll finally see some level 1 action? We've seen both teams group up as 5 for both games, level 1, and just miss each other both times.
The saying, third time's the charm?
I like your thinking, good sir.
Third time's a charm, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if this time around both taxis are going to arrive on the same place to pick up the passengers, meaning the gold for the first kills. As we are just about to hit the Summoner's Rift, a few more seconds, and we will be finally blessed with more action, as it is going to be Game 3, NSF against SG Momentum. NSF is in the lead with 2 wins match points. If NSF win, they win the finals and win the Supreme League Europe. But if SGM are going to take the game, they still have an opportunity to go for the reverse sweep and probably, maybe, take down NSF for the finals.
Well, something that's interesting I'd like to point out is we have lethal tempo for Ruzu coming on the Tom Kench. He took Teleport, Ghost, and he's running lethal tempo on Tom Kench. And we thought that Forsaken were the ones with the surprises this game. Seems like Momentum had a few of their own. And we also have the Gwen, run by Pirate Knight, with a Ghost instead of a Flash.
Okay.
Will, your thoughts?
Okay. I'm not sure what to think of it. I'm fairly sure that we have yet another spectator's book.
Nope, I think we're all good and ready to go.
All right, fixed it.
Now,
okay.
Let's see if there's any level 1 strats for either teams.
Are they looking to stack up? Yes, of course they do. Oh, see, they're going in the very same direction this time.
Someone get the Jaws theme ready, as it looks like both teams are about to run into each other.
Third time's the charm, I told you, my friend. Also notice that Fofi is running the first strike, and now the teams are about to meet. It's going to be 5-on-5. Yes, they meet over here. The lick. Not going to find anybody. Is that it? Is that it?
That's the case. We hyped it up far too much.
Oh.
But the interesting thing is Forsaken are not... Oh, they're not giving up on this play.
No.
Oh, never mind.
It's a numbers disadvantage. The hook is going to connect. The damage will as well. First blood being donated.
First blood to the Kaiser. First blood over to Kaiser Mummy.
Kaiser, what?
Kaiser Mummy.
Yeah, Kaiser Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Also notice running exhaust.
Yeah, running the exhaust. I wanted to mention that, but my attention was preoccupied with the TP Ghost Tom Kench and the Ghost Smite Gwen. But I do like the adaptation. Well, if you think about it, the Kaiser and Lucian are both dueling ADCs. Like, they're very good at fighting even on their own in, like, mid-game, late-game fights. So it's no surprise to me to see the Kaiser taking the exhaust, because I feel like exhaust just gives you that extra advantage in the ADC 1v1. Because when you use the killer instincts on Kaiser to get onto the Lucian, having the exhaust will provide a lot more. Will provide more combat stats for the Kaiser rather than the Lucian.
Some good trading also here at the top. And yes, I have... Ooh, wait a second. Somebody has to go down. There's a lot of bleeding coming. The lethal tempo will give him the kill with the lick, but he will bleed out nonetheless. Exchange of kills here at the top.
Exchange of kills, flash used, ghost used, TPs will probably come out for both sides.
Yep.
But roughly about even in the gold, as first blood was already taken on the side of Kaiser Mummy, so it doesn't really favour either top laner too much.
Still interesting how it went down. It's just as I wanted to point out.
Some lovely trading by Bantul.
More trading actually. Look at that. I think the top laners are having their own little score that they want to try to settle. And yes, as I do. Oh, in the meantime.
Nice hook.
Hitting that. Nice.
I think the early game damage of the Lucian Leona just far exceeds that of the Kaiser Nautilus. The Lucian passive combined with the solar passive of Leona, just far too much damage for the Kaiser and Nautilus to deal with right now. They will potentially be looking for maybe an all-in around the level 6 mark. So even with that first blood longsword advantage, Kaiser struggling a little bit.
I also wanted to point out the interesting things about the runes, because we've been talking about them pretty much a lot. There's also Lethal Temper on Gwen.
Yep.
There is a Predator on Vi. And as mentioned, the first strike being picked up by Fluffy.
Zarath.
Interesting pick of runes, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm happy with the first strike on Zarath, as I feel like you're able to proc it pretty much on cooldown, due to just the nature of the champion. He's got some nice poke onto Parker here, who I think quite rightly took the corrupting potion as we look for Rizuzu trading onto Larissa.
Trading indeed, a good heal, and the proc of the passive doesn't have his Noxian Guillotine just yet, meaning he won't get him down, but it feels like it's very spicy up there.
Yeah, good situational awareness by Rizu to know that the Darius has 5 stacks of his passive and he's stacked Conqueror fully, so he knows that he can't continue that trade as the Darius has a huge damage advantage.
But here comes Kung Fu with the Predator. The Predator has been summoned and has taken down the prey.
A nice, easy Predator flash gank by Kung Fu. And like I said, him and Ruzu have been playing good all series, so looking to play around each other, and maybe they can start something going with this early game. Maybe take an early Herald.
Well, the Herald is going to spawn in 3 minutes, as we are having our first Drake, though, that is about to spawn just now, which is going to be an Infernal. No Infernal Show, though.
Yep. Now, the interesting thing to me is, as I mentioned, the adaptation of Momentum's draft. Despite the fact that the Gragas is shoving in the Zarath, as he has more sustain with the Corrupting Potion and the passive. A little bit of trading.
Well, Flay today, though, with a flanking maneuver. And the stun, double stun connecting, and here comes Kung Fu.
Kung Fu's in the area.
He is.
Flash still up for Parker if he needs it.
Still available, yes indeed, but the body slam will be used as well. And a long range engage will not connect to the target.
Good patience on Parker there, waiting until his body slams up so we can get the flash body slam out, so he doesn't waste the body slam, as Flay today was positioning himself to make sure he blocked it if it was used. So, nice play all around there. Nice roam by Flay, getting the flash out of Parker. Means that he can't play quite as aggressively against Fofi, despite the huge mana advantage he has right now.
And Ballin is having an interesting way of his own as well. You've been talking about the CS differences and all of that, and you can see that despite the first blood, Lucian is able to keep up with the amount of gold that Kaiser has, and now he has the difference only in 200. Could have been much worse. Oh, in the meantime, Loriso looking for a way to go on to Ruzu. Bear in mind, he has the Noxian Guillotine. Will he catch up with him? Might be. But I think that Ruse is getting away. In the meantime, Luchesco might be the one in trouble here. Kaiser Mummy taking some good damage. Here comes the explosive cask! And Kung Fu blink, you miss it, he is dead. Flash over the wall from Play today will not save him, as the artillery will not provide the needed reinforcements.
Excellent roam by Parker there, getting the maximum use out of the explosive cask that he could. And Fofi had to recall because he was low on mana, so Parker gets the roam for free. The Drake is up. 2 kills on the Kaiser. Now up to 3-0. Drake going over. And Forsaken still maintaining their early game aggression throughout this series. I'd like to see Kung Fu either repeat gank top lane or take the Herald on spawn and either get some plates into mid lane or bot lane.
It seems to be like the most logical thing to do. Catching up with Kaiser would be probably the most important thing for Bento at this point, mainly because you don't want to fall behind onto such of a powerful dueling AD carry.
Yeah, I feel like if this Kaiser still has this lead over Lucian by the 15-minute mark, then Lucian will never catch the Kaiser.
Probably. In the meantime, Loriso looking for a good trading onto Resustus with the Noxian Guillotine. He's getting devoured though, but he's bleeding. Here comes the shield, a goal one, but the Conqueror and the heal almost. But Loriso is taking down that kill. Here comes the Predator, doesn't have his flash. Will he connect with the Q? Yes, he will, but the healing will not be enough. And Kung Fu
Patience there out of Kung Fu to not have to blow the ultimate. I definitely wouldn't have been as patient, but utilizing the Predator to keep his movement speed up despite being slowed by the Vault Breaker, I must admit, I probably would have wasted ultimate on that kill.
But Kung Fu decides to hold on onto it. Let's see if it's going to be used somewhere around the area in the later stages of the game. And now, gold is getting even yet again. Oh, nice hook though, connected by Luchesco. Level 6 is available, so that means the culling is there. Good trading, but trading with Leona is not the most beneficial of the trades.
Ultimate not available for the Nautilus, so he doesn't have the depth charge to secure the kill onto Bentool. But the lane is definitely in a favourable spot for the side of Forsaken right now. We see the junglers are on opposite sides of the map, so perhaps with the depth charge plus the Gwen roaming down, I think Parker might be looking for Urim as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see a bot lane dive here.
He might be actually commencing.
Four members of Forsaken
Indeed.
In the bot side jungle of Momentum.
You know, again, more trading here at the top side of the map. Darius is just destroying the fish as much as he can. And I think that the invade we've been talking about, or the dive rather, has not been commencing. Ooh, Ruzu is looking to go very aggressively. But here comes reinforcements, the one that he needed the most. Q is now on the cooldown, and Kung Fu just taking him down with the artillery.
Oh, and they gift the kill over to the Xerath.
Will pick up that kill, indeed.
This should be a free herald over to the side of Momentum, and I would love to see the top lane shoved out by Ruzu. Maybe he can look for a full shove of the wave, get a plate out too.
Charge. Parameters here. The snip has been used, so is the Killer Instinct, I think. But this Leona, there's no way out. Exhaust and the stun has been procced, and that's a double kill for Parrot Knight.
Yeah, just a nice clean bot lane dive, utilizing the Nautilus ult paired with the Kai'Sa ult and the exhaust onto Lucian to keep him close by. I think Forsaken are playing to the strength of this bot lane combo rather nicely.
Ooh, but failing the body slam.
Unfortunate fail flash by Parker.
Explosive cask though coming in.
No, nice.
Ooh, and here comes the ultimate we've been talking about. Darius has been eaten and not punched in the face. Look at that, he's still trying to get away. He has the flash, but the flash from Kung Fu coming in as well, and that
was up
still,
he gets it off.
Still, Noxian Guillotine not gonna finish the target. Killed in the mid-air, as Kung Fu will take his third kill, and the Herald.
Yep, just some deep vision by Ruzu to guarantee that Gwen is not in the area, so that Kung Fu can pick up this Herald for free. Now, we have the Kai'Sa and the Gwen on the side of Forsaken, who are definitely the stronger of the Forsaken lineup right now. And then on the side of Momentum, it's just the Vi. So I'd like to see Kung Fu try to... I feel like at this point, your bot lane is almost too far gone. You need a 5-man gank, because you know the Forsaken will reply if you send more than one person bot lane right now. So I'd like to see Kung Fu try to get something going for Fofi.
Are we having a Church of Fofi here?
I mean, if a church is required to win the game, yeah, build one.
Okay, fine. The passive has been stocked, so the
Drake going over to Forsaken by the looks of it.
It is indeed. It's going to be a Hextech Drake, and we're going to have a Mountain Soul in this game.
Mountain Soul.
Well, this is looking to be rather important, really, because for both of the teams, it's going to be extremely beneficial.
Now, the thing that worries me about this game, if you're a Momentum fan, is that this game feels eerily similar.
Thoughts? Ruzu, yet again with reinforcements, but not going to be saved by the Noxian Guillotine, and Season Disease will take him down. Flay today, though, manages to get away with the flash and the snip. Well, fair. It's getting used. Kaiser Mummy now stuck in the action and will be brought down. That's a huge shot down. Picked up by Bentool.
Play today with the really nice pick on the overextending Kai'Sa Mummy. And a nice shutdown in the pocket of Ben Tool.
Just...
And Kung Fu able to pick up some plates top lane. Is he going to drop the Herald?
I don't think so. He doesn't have the Herald. Oh, okay, yes.
No, he's dropped the Herald. I think that might have been a little bit late. Maybe he can pick up First Blood Tower?
Yeah, he
before
will.
bot lane? Yep, he picks it up before bot lane. Okay, nice. That's a lot of money in the Vi's back pocket. Not necessarily the person you want with it, but I'd like to see him try to snowball this further because, as I was going to say before, if you're a Momentum fan, this game is eerily similar to Game 1 and 2. Your top side has a small lead,
Ooh,
but your bot side
is going for it, but here comes reinforcements. The fish is here, and the artillery has been summoned as well. Orisa, though, with a very fleet footwork, not going to escape the Vi, and she will pick up that kill.
Yeah, nice little pickup again. Orisa not quite having the same type of game that he was having in Game 1 and 2.
Oh, Flay today with a long range engage, actually. I'm not particularly sure why he was going for it. Might have to pay for it right now with the Solar Flare, and the W will pick up the case. But Luchesco now getting caught with some good stun, and another kill.
And this is what I wanted to see on the side of Momentum. They're staying in the top side jungle of Forsaken. They're saying, we're here to stay. You can have bot lane. Top lane is ours.
And it
getting
pays
Fofi
off
involved
rather nicely. Look at this. The goal difference is now slowly shifting towards SGM.
Yeah, they have a nice gold lead. But like I said, 7.8k gold on the Vi to 5.7k gold on the Gwen. So I would like to see this Vi try her best to take over this game and get Fofi involved as much as possible.
Snip, snip, snip onto Kung Fu. I've seen that. Now he's going to be a little bit sped up.
Ragus in the area. Can he get a body slam? No.
I don't think so. As in the meantime, Kaiser Mummy is having a little bit of troubles. The culling has been called. That's a flash coming from Kaiser Mummy. And Flay today will have to retreat.
Yep, but they get the flash and they get the killer instincts out of Kaiser Mummy. And you know what? Credit to Flay today. He had the overextension previously, sitting on 0-5 and 1, still looking to make plays.
And it works for him rather nicely. They've almost brought him down. If it wasn't the flash, then I think that Kaiser Mummy would have been dead.
Almost certainly.
Oh, Flay today might be the one caught in trouble right now. Bento is coming.
He has Bento for backup. Can park a
body
one-shot
slam with the cask, and here comes the Everfrost. He's going to dodge out the...
It's a lot of damage.
Yes, and
TP
Bento
comes in, might be a little bit late.
Good stun, though, and here comes the TP with the combined with the Gale Force. Q!
Beautiful.
Will bring down. But here comes Lariso with the ghost. He's fast. He's going to be stunned. He's still looking to go for it with the flash forward. Will bring down with the swing of an axe. And the next target, the next victim, will be brought down with the next guillotine as Kaiser Mummy will bring down the Solar Flare itself as well.
Yep, and a nice rundown there by Forsaken. They see that Parker's play doesn't quite pay off, but they run down and they say, look, you're overextended, you're all low, we can pick up these kills here and there's almost nothing you can do about it.
Kaiser Mummy now, Season Desist, still going on to him, quite a lot of damage. Here comes the exhaust as well, but I think he will be able to pick up that kill. Yes, he will be. He can go and fight with 2v1 and will win that duel. Double kill coming for Vi.
Kung Fu paying off with all that gold.
Still looking to go forward with the flash forward. Snip, snip, snip. But can you do anything against these fists? He's going to be eaten to be saved. And third kill going on to Kung Fu.
You couldn't ask for anything more. And just as Drake's about to spawn, you have 20 seconds left before Gwen is even alive. No smite up for the side of Kung Fu, but I would be surprised if Forsaken are tracking that. So I feel like this is a prime opportunity for Momentum to get themselves back in this game, utilize how strong their Vi is, and slow down the game.
They are going to be a little bit sandwiched there, even though... Kung Fu is looking to fight this as Darius. This is going to be a very important fight. The passive has been stuck in Oxen Guillotine, but he's still not dead. And Bento will finally pick up himself a kill. Now the Killer Instinct has been used, but the fish will get away. Happily patting his belly, and now the rest of the team is moving forward, might looking for a way to collapse, and yes it is. Late today, going on to Parker Watcher, he denied himself as much as he can. Solid Flare will not find a stun target, but Kaiser is now a little bit of a disadvantage because he's getting focused by the artillery, and we'll break it down, and Bentor still alive, picking up 2 kills, and now Paranoid, the only person to still be here. That's an ace for SGM.
And credit where it's due, Momentum will not go quietly into the night. They are clawing their way back into this game, kicking and screaming. Credit to Kung Fu for bringing his team back. Gets the triple kill, turns it into a Drake, sets up his AD for killing the Jace. They get the Ace, they get the Drake, they get their Rift Herald. I think this is looking very promising for Momentum, and I must say, credit where it's due, Kung Fu.
He knows he's Kung Fu, and he will show it one more time. Only second that Oriso went into the bush, already half of his HP. He's looking for more. Look at that. Can he go for two for one fight though?
I think potentially, but I think it's smart by him to know that his team has picked up the Herald, and they're recalling. So maybe just reset. Take some jungle camps. No reason to overextend when you have a 700 gold bounty on your head.
And look at the gold difference. It's 5, almost, or 4.5. Doesn't matter. 4,500 gold into SGM. As Play Today still looking to go in, but no, he won't. 4,500 gold lead for SGM. How does that sound? Now Kung Fu looking to go into the ring, so artillery shots will help Kung Fu to bring in down another kill for Vi.
And Kung Fu showing the strength of Predator Vi brilliantly. I could not.
The Hawk is going to connect. Shut down. Immediate one coming onto Mental. Now Flake today might be in a little bit of trouble. Solar Flare is going to be juked by the Killer Instinct. But now Fish wants a little bit of that brewery. He's not stopping. He's trying to bring down Parker Watcher. He gets away though on the last second. But here comes a little bit of reinforcements. Paradise is making his way towards the bot.
Yeah. Parker definitely shown that it's quite difficult to kill a Gragas when he has ult, Phase Rush, and Everfrost, as well as the Body Slam. So, nice little escape there by Parker. Picks up the farm.
Ruzo makes it out as well, and the Herald is finally getting spawned.
Yep, free mid lane tower there for the side of SG Momentum. Kung Fu looking for some more topside vision, perhaps.
I think
or just clearing the side
game,
waves.
He's not afraid to battle with anybody.
I feel like at this point, if the Vi shows up in any lane, you need to be sending at least 3 people to deal with that Vi. 2 maybe, but that's still risky.
Yeah, because she might be able to bring down both of you.
This is a 3-item Vi at 21 minutes.
And with
completed boots and a stopwatch, as you mentioned. Yeah, this is a hell of a performance from Kung Fu, and Fofi has been.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh no! In the meantime, yes, it is a good knock-up coming from Parrot Knight with the calling and the season deceased. Fofi is going to pick up that kill. Here comes the artillery. Kaiser Mummy did not flash in the direction he wanted. Artillery will pick up yet another kill, and I think that's a Baron.
And it is a great time to pull the trigger as well, as you can pick up the Baron, and then it's only a minute till Drake spawn. Pick up the Baron, Baron empowered recalls, spend the gold back on the map just in time for Drake to spawn.
Parker Watcher might be looking for a kill here with the explosive cars going onto Ruzu. He will not have quite a big shield, but he can still try to fight for it. He's very low, uses the ghost, good stun, good healing, and he will escape now. Maybe, that's a big question. The Baron in the meantime is going down. You can see Parker still trying to chase down Ruzu. Ruzu is walking around as much as he can. He's still trying to get himself out of this very sticky situation. Don't forget Darius isn't coming. Still the fight is about to commence, but here comes the rest of the team. Paladin him not recall, but the recall actually will not bring him down and whoa!
Wow, credit where it's due to Ruzu. Parker playing with fire and he got banned.
I think that will hurt a lot.
I think it hurts even more for the fact that I think Momentum are more than happy to take this 4v5 without Parker. Then Forsaken are looking forward to a 4v5 without parking themselves.
Oh, and then
Bentul walks straight into
Bentul.
the jaws of death.
He does, but he's still in the clearance zone. Flay today doing his best, and so is the Vi. The Vi is going to pick up her kill. Double kill coming for Xerath. Third kill is now getting secured as well. And the control. Noxian Gillian team will bring down Bentul. And another one, but will be denied by the stopwatch. And the Xerath is now a little bit out of the action. Parker Watcher still looking for a bit of action as well. Here comes Tom Kench. There's little more reinforcements as Gragas will go away with his brew, with his beer, as CGM stand tall in that fight.
Momentum playing on the edge. Forsaken put up a very good fight there. A little bit of help from Bentul, taking the blast cone straight into the Nautilus. But still,
That's a
one fight
difficulty
for
tweak.
SGM Momentum, and they get the Drake. That's 2 in a row for them now, getting both of them as the Mountain. And you must admit, feels really nice when you stack the same Drake 4 times. You really notice it a lot more. And the shield will definitely help Kung Fu. Mountain Drakes,
Ruzu as well.
yeah, Mountain Drakes stacking on a Tom Kench by Leona. You're happy as hell.
The problem is that you need to stack them, but it feels like this is not going to be a big of a problem for SGM. First time in the series, they're leading in gold, and look at that, almost 7,000 gold. Flay today now looking for a play until Luchescu gets him down, and with the help of the new item, will get him a little bit more damage. The Predator has been used as well. Angel, Archangel.
Oh, no.
And Kaiser Mummy, he knows his fate. The killer instinct will not help him, as Seize and Deceased will take her down. And Bird Knight just walks straight into his death sentence. The teleport is coming in, but Kung Fu is stand tall. He's trying to fight. He's going to get hooked. The explosive cask is going to go here as well. Flay today might be a little bit of a trouble, but Lariso, with the help of Bentul, with the help of Xerath, that's a double kill. 3 man down for Forsaken. As SGM are looking to begin the siege of Winterfell.
And Tom Kench taking the mid lane tower while his team takes the top lane tower with the Baron buffs.
Kung Fu gets in there, takes down Luchescu. Easy pick, easy kill.
Kung Fu has no fear right now. 4 items with the Guardian Angel. He is just looking to single-handedly take down Forsaken.
And he might as well just do that. 200 CS, 12, 1, 10, Vi on the 26th minute of the game.
And I feel like we should also pay some respect to the rest of SG Momentum. Ruzu has had a very strong showing on the Tom Kench. Yet again, by the way, Fofi has been, as per usual, quietly climbing his way up in the KDA department, and he's providing a nice backline damage for the huge front line of Kung Fu. And Bentul, despite the struggles in the early game, he's really brought it back this game. He's 747. He's everyone that matters in terms of damage department on SG Momentum has a gold bounty. And you must admit, this is looking really, really good for Momentum right now.
I not only must admit, I will admit, almost 10,000 gold difference in the favor of
Larissa might be overextending here.
It might be, and Lariso will be caught now here with the Cowboy and Flay today. Gets away with the Gale Force, denying the control, and with the artillery, can you do anything about that now? Kung Fu looking to pick up a fight, 1 against 2. The exhaust will not save you, but the Killer Instincts might. Here comes the breaking wall,
nice
but
flash
not
by
getting
Kaiser.
down. He's being outplayed, but he will return to the fight just yet. With the help of the Culling, they will not take down Snip, Snip, Snip. Now Flay today is looking to extend a little bit further onto Parker Watcher and will bring him down. And despite the place coming from Kaiser Momi, still an unfavorable situation to be in.
Yep, still a 1-for-0 from Momentum. And I must say, Kung Fu has done this not once, but twice now. But he's using the Assault and Battery, the Vi Ultimate, to buffer the Nautilus depth charge. He's done it on 2 in the 2 most recent team fights now. And it's a wonderful thing to see.
Ooh, that's a good hit. That's a good hook, rather. Connected onto Kung Fu. Will it have any Will it have any kind of continuation? That's a very big question. Another Hawk getting in there just nicely, and the rest of the team is trying to catch up. But here's come Place today with the damage coming from Xerath, as a bot turret just have been picked as well.
This is the momentum we wanted to see in game 1 and 2. This is the momentum where, okay, Luchesco hits a hook on Kung Fu, looks like he might be caught out. Immediate flash by Flay today and follow up by Bentool to secure the kill. Looking after their boy.
Brilliant now for SGM. 13,000 gold lead. The Dragon is about to be up in 30 seconds. The Baron is already up. You can go and take it.
It's just looking really, really good for momentum right now. Drake's up in 15, Baron's up now.
Ooh, Kung Fu might be caught a little bit here and over the action. He's now getting slowly isolated. Whoa! The artillery! Bringing Kaiser Mummy almost... Whoa! And the explosive cask. But here comes the kill force. Slucheska, with the flash and the body slam onto Bentil, but he's about to go golden. Here comes Seize and Dices from Kung Fu. He's still trying to fight for it. Forfeit is now legendary. The culling will bring down Gragas. And SGM now, without the Baron, without the Dragon that now been picked up by Loriso, can begin their death march onto the enemy team, bringing down the first inhibitor turret, bringing down the inhibitor as well. A second inhibitor might not even get picked as they change their attention towards the next turret. Now here comes the fight. Luchesco will be taken down absolutely almost immediately. Here comes a little bit of snip, snip, snip. A flash forward coming from Loriso. He will be taken nonetheless. Forfeit is legendary Church of Forfeit and the Temple of Kung Fu. Ace coming for SGM as they will force game 3. No, game 4. Yes, game 4.
Well, ask and you shall receive. We asked for momentum to win this game, to take us to a game 4, and they did not disappoint. An incredible performance by Kung Fu to bring his team back into that game, and I must admit, great mental. It seems like on the side of Bentool, as he is able to shake off the early game deaths and keep himself relevant through the course of that game, and Fofi just doing Fofi things in the mid lane. He was just a nice, consistent, strong performer in game 1 and 2, and game 3 helps his team get the win. I think that game can be summarized with Kung Fu saying, "I'm going this way, follow me."
If you want to succeed, follow me. Ladies and gentlemen, what already a banger of a series it is. We are forced to go into the game for SGM against NSF. It's 2-1. Still match point. It still stands on the sliver for SGM. One mistake, they're out. They're losers. One more win, and they force the ultimate game 5 against NSF. Do not go anywhere. We will be back very, very soon.
Be seeing you.
Beneath the waves, I find
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we are about to head into the game 4.
Welcome.
All right.
I had to open my window after these games because this series is heating up.
Yes, definitely so. I mean, after these first 2 games, it felt like SGM are going on a wrong foot, and something needs to be done in order to turn it around. You could not have asked for a better turnaround than this.
That was a spectacular game from Momentum. Everything that I asked for in terms of how I thought that they could play to their strengths, they did, and they did better than I expected. Kung Fu had a spectacular game on that Vi.
Oh yes.
Proving that even with 1, 2, 3, 4 jungle bans, he can just be like, yeah, I'll just pull out the Vi and casually have a 1-death game. You know,
I'm an enforcer after all. I'm going to enforce you.
Yeah.
To play by my standards.
And I must say, I was thoroughly impressed with the comeback of the bot lane of Momentum. I think Ben Tool had a great comeback game. I think Fofi was able to capitalize. Oh, something fell off my desk. I think Fofi was able to capitalize on the plays made by Kung Fu and Ruzu in the top side of the map. And they snowballed perfectly. They just said, okay, bot lane looks like it's struggling, so let's just make sure we win on the top side.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you on the draft. And this is looking rather interesting.
Yep, we have Momentum taking blue side and Forsaken taking red side. So far in this series, we've had Xin Zhao being first picked twice, if I'm remembering correctly. And then we had a Gwen first picked, no?
Yes. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to see what the first pick is taken, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the same bans from both teams. The Ziggs Trundle, the Aurelia Vayne, the Lee Sin ban.
Trundle.
There's the Trundle. There's Vi ban. Instant respect by Forsaken. The Ziggs, and now I think NSF's follow 2 bans are Vayne and Aurelia.
Lee Sin is going to be open. We've seen Kung Fu on Lee Sin. He can do wonders on that Lee Sin. If it's not going to be Lee Sin.
Yeah, I'm curious as to whether they first pick it or they leave it open.
And the drum
You can see they're really thinking about this last ban. They were
Aurelia.
like, do we ban the Aurelia or do we ban the Lee Sin? Aurelia ban, first pick Lee Sin.
Okay,
now, do they answer with the Xin Zhao?
Is it a good answer? Ooh.
Nautilus.
Oh.
Nautilus Lucian.
No.
No, they're going with the Kaiser Nautilus. They're saying
worked clean as a whistle.
It worked last time. They just had struggles in the mid game because their top side was getting destroyed by the efforts of Kung Fu's Vi.
Comes
the Lucian pick and the Leona. We're running it back, guys.
The onslaught of the shadows.
Yeah, we have the Hecarim to answer the Lee Sin. So I'd imagine this is probably the Ghost Predator Hecarim. Just in order to keep up with the Lee Sin's early game priority. And we have top lane and mid lane bans probably about to come in.
Set.
I'm expecting a Silas ban. There's the Set ban, which I think whenever Forsaken bans Set, the immediate response from Momentum should be to ban Silas.
Or Victor.
They ban the Victor. That's fine.
Xerath
ban.
Such a immense...
Some nice adaptation.
Yes, and respect.
LeBlanc ban. So the Silas is left open, and it's had... I think it's been banned every game thus far, and there's the instant Silas pick.
We've seen Silas been picked already by Parker Watcher.
Yep.
Played
it to good effect in game 2. Yep, the Silas pickup by Forsaken. Now, what do Momentum feel like they can answer this with?
It's such a limit of options now coming for SG Momentum. Though
Fofi still has the Lux available if he wants to run that matchup back, but it was the losing matchup last time. The Zoe is a possibility, Although I feel like she doesn't really have Corky. Corky's a great pick. Corky is really good into this.
Oh, okay. The Church of Fluffy is actually back, and the Camille for Ruzu.
Camille, still definitely the best top laner on current patch. I would be surprised to see the Fiora. It's a decent counter pick, but yeah, the Graves potentially.
Top lane, great. I've seen.
Renekton has had a resurgence on this patch.
Will it be? Oh my god.
Jax. I'd like to see a Wukong pick here, if it's in the wheelhouse.
I feel like Jax is actually a better option since he's going to go for the
Renekton.
Killer Croc.
Yeah. Renekton has had a resurgence on the current patch. He's been picked up more. I've been hearing whispers that it's being used in like pro play scrims. So I've yet to really see it utilized correctly myself. So I'm hoping for a good performance here by Forsaken.
That looks to be extremely interesting, not gonna lie, because looking at that draft, it again, we've seen some similar things to that, right? But it just feels to me and strikes me again slightly different than we've seen it from the previous ones.
Yeah. I think keys to the draft for momentum is get Kung Fu rolling. And then for Forsaken, it is shut down Kung Fu at all costs.
Can they do that though? Now he has a Lee Sin. We've seen his Lee Sin throughout the split. It's more than good. It's more than good.
If he's capable of having a similar game on Lee Sin as he had on Vi last game, this game is SG Momentum's to lose.
And also, speaking about the fact that how Ruzu likes to fight, and we've seen him to be a man not walking away from any fight. It's like, you want to fight? Pfft, I'm sure up for it. Camille seems to be one of those champions that will thrive on fighting.
Yeah, and I think the Corky pick by the side of Fofi is really intelligent as an answer to Silas because he has incredible late game team fighting potential, as I'm a bit of a Corky connoisseur myself. And it's not a very good ult for Silas to steal.
He gets what? Only 4 rockets?
I believe he gets 6.
He gets 6.
Yeah, I believe he gets 6 because he gets 2 big ones and 4 small ones.
Yeah, alright. Well, I mean, it might be beneficial for poke, but it's pretty much about it. And who do you actually poke it with? Leona?
Yeah, well, the main thing that I'm curious about with Forsaken's draft is where are they going to put the Renekton's focus? Because Renekton wants to win lane. Renekton, not just might, he will get out team fought by the Camille. She just has more utility in the team fights. So, is he going to focus the Renekton? And if so, what does that leave in the bot lane? Because we've seen last game that despite the fact that NSF won bot lane, Momentum had the early game pressure. They were winning that lane even with the first blood on Kai'Sa before the jungle intervention.
That's true, yeah.
So I'd be interested to see where this Hecarim's attention goes.
I solemnly do feel that if SG Momentum are willing to pick it up, to pick up the same comp, it's either because of the fact that they are looking to play it the similar way, meaning to just spin it around topside, or they might be positive about trying to go and bring down the NSF combination. Now, can they do that? That's the big question. We've seen in the previous game that they weren't able to do that, but also don't disregard the fact that Kai'Sa had the first blood, was getting some good push, some good gangs there as well. So, I don't know.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be a decent series. We had very very good games 1 and 2, and we had a nice bounce back from momentum in game 3. Now, can they continue their momentum, or will they crumble to the Forsakens?
That's a big question to answer. Unfortunately, I do not have one. The script has been flipped, meaning that we are going in the blind zone here. And honestly speaking, this is something that I want to ask you. is
Mm-hmm.
we've seen Fofy to play on champions that just deal a ton of damage, that go and destroy whatever they feel and see and want.
Yeah.
And Corky, to me, doesn't really strike to be one of those characters that just go and immediately delete somebody from the Summoner's Rift.
I feel like you've not seen enough Corki, my friend. If you get a good Corki package in a late game team fight, that's easily 1,000 damage on multiple members.
Oh.
People often forget Corki doesn't just deal damage with his basic abilities. That package is nothing to be sniffed at.
So we'll have to look out for those external
But
packages.
the point that you made is still valid, as he played his best games so far have been the Lux and obviously the Zerath, who are both long-range mages. Corki isn't really a mage. He's
A
he's a bit of a
hybrid
mix.
ADC.
Yeah, he's a mix of an AD mixed with a caster, but the real bread and butter of knowing how to play Corki is playing around your package. I think if Fofi doesn't take TP this game, I would be disappointed and very upset. But because the TP package flanks can single-handedly win you a game.
Now you put a lot of faith into the Church of Fofy.
He's impressed me thus far. I think the standout performer for Momentum was definitely Kung Fu. He's earned his
The
black
temple
belt.
of Kung Fu.
I'd say the dojo.
The dojo. Yes, the dojo. Yes, agreed.
The dojo of Kung Fu. He earned his black belt on that game. But yeah, it's the Church of Fofi and the dojo of Kung Fu versus just a consistent, strong performance from the entirety of Forsaken.
For some reason, it gives me some kind of Destiny 2 vibes, you know, the DLC Forsaken. I'm not exactly sure why. Were these the warlords that you were bringing down there? I think they were warlords. I don't remember.
I wasn't much of a Destiny 2 player, if I'm honest, so I'll leave that to you, Chief.
Let's just say that we are about to pull an ace of spades as we are about to finally come down to the Summoner's Rift. Now, third time is the charm. It did work out, and we had a level 1 play. We had a second one. Now, we will have a third charm here with the third play, or will it go down differently? How do you think?
I'm not sure, but one thing I am happy with is the choice of summoner spells and keystones across the board for both teams. We have as I mentioned, I would expect nothing less of Fofi to take the TP here, which he has, and we have the TP Ignite from Camille, which is, it's a rarity to see a Camille with flash these days. And I'm very much looking forward to the level 1 plays. We've had 5-stack level 1s every single game thus far, and it looks like
It's almost a 5-on-5.
Potentially.
No, it's
is
5 points from coming, like a 5 pinpoint from.
If this is a 5 point from Momentum, they might be a bit late to it.
Might be indeed. Maybe looking to catch somebody up still. It's a question though. Will they find somebody? A ward has been placed.
Yeah.
Francesco. They won't find. Oh, and here comes the ward that will spot all of them out.
That's out the entire team. Now, if Ruzu and Fofi want, they can look for some vision in the top side. Now that they've spotted the entirety of Forsaken,
steal the buff as well, and I think that they're going for it.
At the very least, I would expect them to get some vision, just so they know where Paradise is starting.
Whoa! Look at that. The rest of the team might be
I wouldn't be too worried, as they're going to come across vision. So it depends whether whether Kung Fu and Ruzu want to take this fight.
They might.
This is
they're
interesting.
Looking for it. No, they would. No.
I don't think they spotted Kung Fu though. Well, they know he's there now. He's used the resonating strike, but a late jungle start for Kung Fu, and he started Q, which will slow down his early clear a little bit.
That was
But
an interesting showdown of level 1. Ooh, the hook
yeah,
connecting into Bento. Not going to see a lot of trading though, but nice trading coming from Bento. He took a lot, brought a lot of damage to Luchesco.
yeah. But an early game health potion used by Bentool. So I imagine that the duo of Luchescu Mummy is probably pretty happy with that.
Also, no long swords, would like to point out. Ooh, level.
Oh,
Oh,
the cusp of the Nautilus hook there.
yeah. Almost getting into target, but not just quite enough.
Now I want to see how this top lane matchup works out because I know Renekton is a decent pick into the Camille, as the empowered Renekton W is a very nice counter to the Camille passive. However, extensive nerfs to the champion have been costly, and he's taken the Conqueror instead of the press the attack.
Might the thing is, in Dominus combined with the Conqueror, that is a lot of healing.
Yeah, I would agree. Also combine that with the healing from his Call the Meek.
Also, yes, actually
Yeah.
true.
And we see a full topside clear from Kung Fu into a Rab buff. And as both junglers are finishing on the bot side of the map, and they both should know it,
Silas making his way towards the Scuttle Crab.
Parker got some early game prio over the Corki. But bot lane prio from Bentool and Flay means that
Oh,
I'm not sure which way this the Scuttle Crab's going to go. It looks like Pirate Knight's just seeding it for now.
Looks like
But the
definitely.
Luchesco is posturing aggressively.
Yeah, it is indeed. A hook is not going to connect, but the engage from Play Today will. Now, that means there's going to be a first blood. Picked up by Benso, and some flashes getting burned as well. Parker Watcher now finally joining the fight as well. He's going to bring down Kung Fu. Kaiser Mummy still standing around here. The hook is going to connect, but Luchesco is relatively low. Play Today decides to go even further to bring some vision. That's a trade of the supports. Now Parker Watcher bringing down some good damage, and I think this might go rather badly for SGM this time around as Foffy realizes he's not going to go anywhere. And that's a double
Two
kill for
kills
Kaiser.
for Parker and Kaiser. I think that's I think Momentum should have just been happy with the kill onto the Hecarim and cut their losses, but they decided to overforce. And I feel like they should have realized the Silas just has a lot more skirmish potential early game with the Conqueror than the early game Corki damage with Fleet Footwork.
Some good trading actually. Oh, with the ignite, that means that Kung Fu
Fu.
is here. Still saves his
Warthog.
Sonic Wave. Not gonna connect, but the W will. Ruza will take down the kill.
Yeah, good job by Kung Fu, making sure to influence his top side after the multitude of kills going over to the bot side and mid lane of the Forsaken lineup.
Play Today just barely missing the engage coming on to Kaiser Mummy. I feel like I feel a little bit of deja vu. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean we've had a lot of early game skirmishing the entire series, so nothing to write home about right now. But a small gold lead for Forsaken.
Is again here.
Paradise is in the area as well.
Sonic Wave. Good, nicely, but here comes the Hecarim. There's some cavalry and the reinforcements, but will it be enough? That's a big question. Larisso is very low on his HP, so that's a good connection coming from Parker Watcher too.
That's so much damage coming out from
Play
Parker.
Today, tanking down Luchesco. Action everywhere.
Yeah, a lot of aggressive trading across the board. But I must admit, I would not want to be the Corki in this matchup right now. A 20 CS deficit, a lost chapter to a couple of swords.
Oh, Parker Watcher's here. You have to be careful now.
Does have the ult up and can steal the Leona ult, but decides to back off and trek back to his mid lane.
Maybe he was just on a scouting mission, to see if the golems are still up. How's everybody
Yeah,
doing?
just getting, asking about the family.
Yeah, do you want some cookie? I'm on the dark side, so you can have some cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 600 gold difference in the definition of SGM. Most of the goals sitting on that Silas. The gold gap in the mid lane is extremely huge, while it's not that huge.
Yeah. That's a 1.1 gold lead in the mid lane, and a only a 500 gold lead in the bot lane, and I would say both of those are substantial gold leads. Um, and I think if you're Forsaken right now, you're really happy with this. The Lucian is behind again, and you would like to think that the Kai'Sa outscales the Lucian.
Ooh, play today going on to Luchesco.
Nice engage.
Nice engage, and here comes the re-engage from Luchesco as well. That's an Ignite coming in there as well, but here comes the Cavalry. The kill is getting picked up absolutely immediately. Here comes Carfu, though. The Ghost will be used, and I don't know if there's going to be a continuation. Yes, there will be. Luchesco will be picked up with the Sonic Wave.
Nice, a nice TP flank. TP gank by the Corki there. So 1-for-1 in the bot lane, and is there going to be a Drake fight?
Yeah, Confu's looking for more. Is he going to take it? Yes, he will.
Yeah, that's a low mana Hecarim without Conqueror. Without Ghost
I think
or
we're
Predator.
Not done yet. Bento looking for a way to go in. Kung Fu still doesn't have his Dragon Kick. That's going in from Parad Knights. They will take down Kaiser Mummy. Now they face a little bit of people disadvantage, but they don't know the fact that Play Today is here. And will he go in there? The culling has been stolen. Not exactly the most useful of the ultimates that you can have, since I don't...
3 versus 4, but despite the fact that Kung Fu goes down there,
look at that.
Parad Knight is way too low to take the Drake.
Yes, he is. The Drake is not going to be taken. Pocket Watcher is not going to go for it as well. We might just look for a small reset here.
Mm.
The Kai'Sa 402, though, that's getting creepy.
Yeah, Kai'Sa showing that his namesake is definitely up to snuff.
Alright. That actually makes some sense.
My apologies for using a British phrase.
That's absolutely alright. There's no problem about that. In the meantime, Kung Fu is in the top lane, and I think Parad Knight is looking for a way to go in. The Popsy is Predator as well. And, ooh, good kick! And, but here comes the flash. The culling has been summoned by Parker Watcher. And the kill will be transitioned to...
It was a nice attempt by Kung Fu, but I feel like in that scenario, you've just got to know your limits and try to get out as best you can. The flash by Larisso, followed by the onslaught of shadows by Paradonite. And Kung Fu not quite having the same impact on his Lee Sin as he had on the Vi.
Well, we will see if the man will live to tell the tale. Yet again, SGM are falling behind, but it's not that much of a big gap. It's still 1.6 thousand. Something you can work around with, potentially.
Yeah, if they manage to keep the gold lead right now is pretty influential. But if you manage to keep a 1k gold disadvantage for the next 10 minutes, then you're not looking too bad. It's just whether or not Forsaken can snowball this.
The Herald has been taken, but...
That is the Drake over to Momentum, so...
Indeed, and they're looking for a gank here. Are they?
I'm not sure if they'll find it with Leona not being level 6 yet and Dragon's Rage being down, so I think Kung Fu can just say, I've got almost all my camps up, I'll just go for a full clear.
I've got things to do.
Places to be.
And now let's... I mean, we have yet another reset. It seems like the electrifying air that we had in the previous game is slowly starting to settle down. The dust is settling down as both teams are just looking to try and play it slowly and steadily. Since...
Yeah, a nice, calm, relaxing 11 kills in 11 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we had 22 in 11 minutes.
We had 22 and 13, yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay, good damage coming onto Bento with Solar Flare getting used as well. Here comes the Killer Instinct, but instant flash! And the heal as well. Flash from Luchesca, from Kaiser Mummy didn't have flash just yet, but here comes the Cavalry Onslaught of the Shadows. Will bring down the kill, as he will get away from the tower aggro. And
so unfortunate by Bento, just doesn't quite connect with
Confu?
the culling.
Will he get it? The Sonic Wave is
connected, want to take it?
But he's not willing to take it. The Dragon Kick will not save you, and Kaiser Mummy is unstoppable.
Rather unfortunate early game for Momentum at the moment. It's just a couple of misplays that are just transitioning into just far too much for Forsaken. And this is a worrying position for Momentum to be in.
Don't forget, they do not have any more mistakes. They don't have any more luxury of making a mistake. If they win, they can force the next game and they can try to compete for a reverse sweep. If they don't, they're out, they are losers, and NSF will be crowned as the champion of LSE. Play today. He's getting caught in here. That's a good long range engage, but there's a lot of damage coming onto him as Bento will not be able to save his comrade.
I feel like this bot lane right now is just Forsaken smashing momentum with their wallets. This is a huge gold lead for the Kai'Sa.
So now Dominus has been propped and will be the Hextech ultimatum as well. They killed him before the Parker Watcher has arrived. Good damage coming onto Rososus. He's still alive with the shield coming from the W of Kung Fu. Now, can he pursue? Can he fight? That's a very big question. Sonic Wave not hitting the target.
Needs to get out of this.
A lot of juking coming from both of them. Triumph and Conquerors has been used. And with the kick, Parker Watcher brings him down in this very heated one-on-one.
Parker says, you might be in the dojo, but this is my watch. Very nice TP gank.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Huh.
You've got me completely out of the point here, mate. Not sure why do you bring a watch into the dojo, but yeah, okay.
Well,
I mean, some people do like to bring watches to the dojo. It's a normal thing. We're not going to judge you on that.
You like to know when the session's over, you know? Now, we have a minute until the Drake spawns. And you have to think, Momentum do have plenty of opportunity to stall this game. They have a Corki, they have the scaling. So there is still plenty of time and opportunity in this game. 4k gold lead, pretty big at 13 minutes. But there's opportunities.
Opportunities are there. Now, the only thing is not to give them away. For now, it just seems like with every good... Oh, Kung Fu now looking for a gang. Bento is already half of his HP. Here comes Play today. The W is not going to connect. Here comes the double teleport from maybe the top side of the map. Death and Charge going to be used. So is the culling. Oh, Kung Fu now trying to bring down him as much as he can, but he will not be able to do that. Forfeit has to flash away in order not to get picked in here, and that's not the top lane you want to or expect. Bento will be brought down by the rocket, and Play today will be slain as well.
This is not looking good for Momentum at the moment. You have to think that they need to stop this bleeding.
They're bleeding chips, they're bleeding money, they're bleeding everything, and they need to try to find a way to get back in. 15 minutes into the game, and they are falling 6,500 gold behind. This Kai'Sa and Silas are becoming unstoppable force.
If they're in the Church of Fofi, they need to be praying for objective bounties to swing this game.
Objective bounties are going to kick in, though, right about now, as the dragon is going to spawn as well. It's going to be a Hextech dragon.
Yeah, I feel like they have to seed this dragon. I wouldn't expect them to want to fight around this with the disadvantage they're at. But I feel like they just need to cross map a little bit more and say, right, you might be able to dive bot lane or take Drake or take the tower, but we're going to focus on this Camille matchup, or we're going to let the Corki take Herald with plates, or whatever.
Luchesco might be caught in here. Yes, he is with the Solar Flare as well. Good damage. And will they break him down? Ignite is taking, but will not bring him with the rocket, though. Fofi takes it down, but pays with his own life. Kaizamami is going to bring him down. That's a flash forward coming from Kaizamami. That's the second kill, and the onslaught of the shadows will help him to get the third. This Kai'Sa is unstoppable.
Bofi flashes in for the kill onto Luchesco, and 3 of them pay for their life.
Dominus is in the meantime getting brought because here comes the cavalry, and it is here. The Hextech ultimatum will not. Will he take the kill? No.
Ooh. You have to feel bad for Ruzu right now because he's had nothing to do all game. Top lane is an island right now. Larisso and Ruzu are just chilling while all hell breaks loose on the bot and mid side.
And Kung Fu might be looking for a way to go in. Couldn't use the kick because of the stun, but here comes the rest of the team. Can you fight for it? I don't think you can. You will be caught in here, and you will be slaughtered. Kaizamami takes another kill, and I think they're looking to extend it furthermore.
Yeah, you have to be wondering, what can Momentum do right now? Every opportunity they've tried to make has just blown up in their face, and this is getting hard to watch at this point.
The Herald is not going to take to its course.
Small victories at the moment for Momentum, but this is a 10k gold lead before
All right.
20 minutes. This is difficult.
If you are Momentum,
Yes.
how do you bounce back?
Oof. You hope. Well, I think to be honest, you need to set up as much vision in your own jungle as possible, and just trying to keep the waves as close to your turrets as possible. Wave manage as best you can, and just let them take drakes cleanly, and try to make the enemy think that you're going to challenge for Baron, even though you have absolutely zero intention of team fighting right now. You need to turtle as hard as possible. You can't win any fights unless you're catching like 3v1. So you either need a very lucky pick, or you need to just turtle the hardest you can.
Let's see if this is going to be the winning strategy. Kaiser Mummy dealing a subnormal amount of damage already at this point. The Predator has been popped. The Barret Knight is not looking to bring anybody down, as the turret will be destroyed, and I think the other one on the top lane is about to go down any second now too.
But I would also like to see a decent Corki package. I think he has it at the moment. Yep, he has the package at the moment, so...
Will he use it? Ruzu, though, in the meantime, having a fight here at the bot. It's 1-on-1 with the Renekton. Can you win it? I think he's looking to do it. He's still willing to engage with Hextech Ultimatum. You can't flash it out. Can he kill him, though, in time? That's the big question. Yes, he will be. And the fighting is about to commence. Also in the shadows, but Pirate Knight is getting caught in here, rather alone. Sonic Wave is not going to connect, as Bentil had to flash it away. And it seems that SGM, with their backs against the wall, they're still able to hold their ground.
Yeah, they'll hold for now.
Looking to go into Kung Fu. Steps it away. Here comes the package you've been talking about. That will save Kung Fu from getting in the very bad position here. Lochesko looking for a way to bring down the ultimate. Now, can he do that? That's a very big question. He's still trying to work for it. Trying to work his way out. But the popcorn. Well, oh! With the flight. But the W! That was so unfortunate.
Oh, you have to feel bad for Momentum in this scenario.
That was extremely unfortunate.
This is a difficult one for Momentum. I feel like, credit where it's due, Forsaken have taken this game by the throat, and they have not let go. They have Momentum in a chokehold right now, and it has lasted, I'd say about 19 minutes and 51 seconds.
You reckon?
Ever since that fight in the river, at level 3, I just haven't seen Forsaken let their foot off the gas.
The dragon is about to spawn as well. It's going to be a Cloud Drake, meaning that we will have a Cloud Soul. Now,
Cloud Soul is possibly the best thing that Momentum could hope for. Until you realise that there's a Hecarim on the side of Forsaken.
Yeah,
Fofi is definitely dead here.
But he takes away the flash from Parker Watcher. Might be a little of a good thing to do. Now, can he fight this around?
I'm surprised he didn't try to execute, but okay.
He is still walking around, still even manages to bring a lot of time. And Parker Watcher is just staring at him, locking him up, bringing him down in the end.
And the Baron is being taken as well. Things
are looking so grim for SGM at this point.
This is a difficult one to I mean, they got the objective bounty, you know. Camille's got a little bit of gold.
12,000 gold difference still.
Yeah.
I have a feeling the hope might be lost, but we need to hope, because I don't want to think that there's nothing can be done. I just refuse to think so. Now, Rozu Going for a little bit of a fight with Luisa. That's a good kick coming into this as well. Double knockup. Dominance has been propped, but here comes the Hextech Ultimatum. They've got him, but they need to return to the base as soon as possible. The base has been started. Somebody maybe is able to stop there and try to get pushed. They're from the charge, going on to Bento. He will be dead right now. The Onslaught of the Shadow getting used as well. Foffi, now the only man still alive. Locheska will be picked off, but that's a lot of damage and a lot of people. Kung Fu's here. Camille slowly making her way towards here. Now, Foffi, can you play out the Kaiser Mummy? No, you can't. He has to
much
flash
damage
away.
from the Kaiser.
But here comes Camille. Here comes probably the Executioner. Maybe long-range engage from Kung Fu, but he's immediately dead. Now, Ruzu might be caught in a little bit of a center fire over here. Here comes Foffi with a little bit of reinforcements. They're still holding off. The inhibitor is about to get chipped, but here comes Lariso. That's more people. Bento off later today will be up, though, at this moment as well. The Baron minions are pouring into the SGM's base as the second inhibitor turret is going to be picked up as well. But the inhibitor still stands. There's only one inhibitor that you have lost. And SGM, despite everything, they're still in the game.
What can you say? Forsaken are playing this game so incredibly well. They've had 0 deaths on the side of Parker and Kaiser. And I must say, they're just taking over the game, and they're not letting Momentum have anything. They've given, 1 or 2 kills over to Ruzu in the past 5-10 minutes, and that's really about it. I think if Momentum didn't get that early Mountain Drake, this game would be very, very close to over already.
From my own side, I want to give a credit to SGM for actually holding their ground. They're still in the game, and despite the fact that we thought this is going to be a Predator... Oh, in the meantime, Predator Extinct. Bento not going to be able to fight. That's a double kill. Easy for Kaiser Mummy. Is it the end, though? It looks like it. Ruzu tries to get back to the base, but he can't. The Hextech Ultimatum has been used. The engage finds its position, and is it over? It might just as well be. Ruzu getting picked up in here, tries to fight for as long as he could, but now Flay today with Foffi are the only people left to tell the tale. A double kill coming for Kaisamumi, and after excruciating fight, Forsaken take the game 3. And go to be, or maybe not. Will the Nexus still stand? No, it won't be. And the Nexus falls. So is the hope of SGM, and NSF are your champions of the first season of SLE.
What more can you say? That was a very, very clean game for Forsaken to take the win. Credit to Momentum. They put up a good performance. They did not go quietly. They had a great game 3. Game 1 and 2, they definitely put up a good fight. But yeah, in the end, Forsaken just good, clean, solid League of Legends. They drafted to snowball, and in every single one of their wins, that's exactly what they did.
And we have a chance to hear from the winners themselves. Welcome, ladies, well, not ladies, but gentlemen. Welcome, and congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Liam, or rather Wolf, as a color analyst, do you have a question that bothers you the most?
Yeah, so obviously with the, you ban the Vi straight away, were you more worried that it was the champion, or do you just think that Momentum adapted to the drafts that you were doing? Because it seemed like you guys wanted to just snowball the games.
How can you adapt to our draft the third game, by the way? We just picked whatever the fuck we wanted. Like, we wanted to have a Parker on Zed because he wanted to pick Zed, and then someone who isn't even in the team just said Gragas mid, and we picked it.
Dude, I said Gragas Smith.
Oh no, you didn't. You said Zed, and then Veracity came in and said you Gragas mid, and then and then we picked it.
But, must say you had us absolutely confused with that draft.
That's true.
Yeah,
because it was the Gwen, the Darius, and the Gragas, and we were, until you guys locked in, we were very curious as to who was going what lane.
Imagine if it actually worked.
Yeah, it would have, but I don't know, something happened. Vi just got really fed. Like, Vi is just broken at the moment. I don't know why.
I mean, the
Yeah.
combination with Viol and Xerf was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Our AD carry was whining about it a lot after that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ADCs did not have fun in that game on either side, it looked like.
And AD carries, they're gonna whine either way. So.
Indeed.
They're gonna whine.
Yeah,
Everything.
but credit where it's due. You guys played the macro on display was mightily impressive because it seemed like every time there was extended fights, you guys always came out on top because you were just always ready for like TP ganks or Pirate Knight was always in the right position to follow up or re-engage. So yeah, is that like one of the things that you guys would say is like your strength or the thing that you focus on the most?
I mean, I think we're just better overall, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if like macro is definitely one of our stronger sides, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also looks very easy when everybody's eager to fight.
Yeah.
So everybody following.
Yeah.
No, yeah, those were some bloody games.
Yes, they
for
were.
sure. Game 4 was probably the least intense, and even then we still had 10 kills in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So credit where it's due for putting on a a very exciting performance.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wanna dedicate my win to Xandar's.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I really like doing it for him. You know, sadly got banned. Very sadly
Unfortunately,
for us
yeah.
all. But yeah, dedicating this win to him. I also want to thank God. You know, as per usual. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and then allow myself and Brill to be able to congratulate you on an excellent series, a 3-1 victory, and champions of SLE.
Congratulations.
Fuck yes.
Let's freaking go, dude. And also want to thank for a brilliant cast.
Thank
Indeed.
you very much.
Even though it probably could have been better if I was casting it, but Sally was playing, so what can you do?
Yeah, it is how it is.
Yeah.
I swear, man, of it you have broken us for the whole team.
Yeah.
Well, as long as Wolf doesn't have any more questions, because I am certified speechless after the series that we've just witnessed. So I would like to congratulate you, gentlemen, one more time.
I believe he had something he was trying to say. Parker?
What? No?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just chilling.
I said thank you.
Oh. And yes, congratulations on being the champions.
Yeah, feels
Thank you.
flipping fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a good rest of the evening, sirs.
Yeah,
Well played, gents.
Alright, have a good one, guys.
good one.
And you.
Yeah.
So. Here we are at the end of our first long trip of the
Down the
SLE.
SLE. Yeah.
I would like us to go out with a bang. So
I think those were definitely some good games to end on. I think we didn't get 5 games, but I think the games were still solid. I think they were they made them interesting, at the very least.
honestly speaking, I feel like this was Sir Paul McCartney has dropped on me.
Oh, Ripper in you.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't want to drop you. I think that it was absolutely amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, it was a bang of a series, bang of a season, and bang of a cast. And I would like to also thank Wolf over here for being so generous to help us out for this amazing series.
Yeah, I was honoured to be asked to cast. It was a little last minute, but we take those. So yeah, thanks for having me. And honestly, brilliant, amazing cast as always.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all of you as well, because we've been consistently sitting on 50 people online, which is amazing, literally amazing. With that being said, have a good rest of your Sunday, because tomorrow is Monday. That means the work day, not the best.
I have to remind everyone. Come on, man. Let's finish on a high note.
Congratulations once again.
Forsaken are your SLE champions.
And credit goes to SGM for putting up an amazing fight.
Yeah, impressive performance despite losing their mid laner just before the series.
So, it was me, Broman. It was you, Wolf. Thank you very much.
Good night.